agrees that Biden is better than Trump, right? In terms of a mental acuity.
No, that Biden is too old to serve
Wait,
another term.
okay, but again, I think that so is Trump. So this isn't convincing to me.
I mean, I understand that you think he is also too old, but my point is that the vast majority of Americans, specifically on Biden, think that he is too old to serve another term. And when you
Okay.
look at the same percentage for Trump, the numbers are not nearly as high for the vast majority of Americans.
Okay. So again, I'm not convinced just by saying that there are a lot of Americans that believe this. Yeah, I don't know if you think that that's convincing, sure, but
So that holds no weight for you.
no,
Not at all.
no, no. It's not like they're specialized in this.
Well, it's
Like
not
it would
about
hold
special. I
weight if we're
mean,
talking
what do
like,
you?
95% of climate scientists think this. Percy the Hanging Lights, thank you so much. Or 86% of scientists think this, right? We're
Well,
just talking about the
these are the
average
people.
American's opinion.
But the average American are the people who elect the president of the United States. They are electing the
I'm not
person to
disputing
represent them.
that, right? I do think that the average American is going to be wrong, right, in plenty of circumstances.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. When a number as high as 86% is shown, that holds weight to me. That's my
In what
point.
way? What is that relevant?
Because I believe in democracy, and when 86% of people in a
If
democracy,
you believe, if you believe in democracy, why do you support a candidate that's undermining our democratic processes?
I'll concede there. I definitely don't agree with what he did on January 6th, but
Wow, wait,
I,
so how are you going to vote for him when he's literally got tens of millions of people to believe that the election was stolen?
well, luckily we won't have to worry about this time because you can only serve 2 terms regardless.
Yeah, but like you understand that again, that doesn't mean anything. The point is that he's not accepting the results of the election. If he wins, that continues and normalizes not accepting the results of fair and democratic elections
I mean,
because apparently he
this
didn't lose support. Right? You know what I mean? Like that's insane. That's an insane precedence to set. Appreciate the Sam. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. If you care
yeah,
about democracy, I don't know why you'd want to perpetuate that.
like I said, I'm just picking who I believe is the worst of two evils, or the better of two evils, I should say. So yes, I'm not going to sit here and defend everything that Trump's ever done because he wouldn't be my first choice, and he definitely is not my number one pick. But when I'm looking between the two options, I think that
Yeah,
that's the
what
best
makes you
choice.
think that he's better?
So the reason we've discussed the age, um, another big thing for me is the border, and then like I said before,
Again, both things Trump failed on. Trump literally failed on the border because he didn't want to make Democrats look good. He cared more about his own image and whether or not he's going to win than actually doing something
okay,
about the
but
border.
okay, but we have to remember why we're here. So yes, the Democrats, did they try to fix it in an election year? Yeah, they did. But why? But they're the reason that we are in the point that we're at right now, right? Their policies caused this crisis that we're
What
facing.
particular
So
policies are
now
you
that,
referencing?
well, can I finish my point first?
Wait,
The
but I want
fact
to
that
know what
they
policies you're referencing.
the policies I'm referencing, that what?
Yeah, you just referred to policies. Policies made it this way. The Democrats passed. I'm asking what are those policies? Even know?
Did Biden not repeal like tons of Trump policies on day one that
Which ones?
prevented
Name one.
the Remain in Mexico policy?
Okay, so the remaining Mexico border policy. How the hell was that even relevant to any of this?
Because under Trump, these people, the illegal immigrants that are seeking asylum, were not kept
Wait,
inside the
wait, wait.
country.
See, people seeking asylum, that's a legal process. It's illegal under U.S. code. Okay,
I
this
understand
was
that
only
seeking.
changed under Trump. This was the same legal code that we have internationally, same legal code we had under Bush, Obama, same legal code as Clinton. Any of this, all the same for seeking asylum. The only one who changed that code was Trump.
You're going off track here. That's not what I'm claiming. I'm not saying that it's illegal to seek asylum. My
What you were
point
saying, the
is,
illegal immigrants seeking asylum. That's what you said.
I was talking about. So, can we agree that there's a crisis going on at the border right now, or no?
Depends on what you mean by crisis. Like
Are we
I don't
being
even
overwhelmed at the border, or no?
overwhelmed. Sure, there are certain facilities that are overwhelmed,
Like
right?
what?
But I don't think that's like a common trait across the board.
What do you mean a common trait across the board?
Like I don't think I think the border crisis is like extremely overshot, right? Like there are certain places that like they do have like a lot of people going into these particular areas and whatnot. But I don't think that it's like I don't think it's like a crisis like what people say.
I mean, then why did Biden include that in a bill that you're using? If it's not a crisis and it doesn't need any attention, then why are you mad at Trump for?
Why is there a bill? Well, I'm not. Oh no, I'm just saying if he cares about this, if he values this, why didn't he pass this? They did this
Well,
because they
because the
want
bill
compromise.
the bill that was proposed was log rolled with like a bunch of other things that they didn't support.
Wait, but those things got passed anyway.
Yeah, they
Like
did
the
get passed anyway.
Ukraine funding got
Yeah,
passed anyway.
it
And
got
wasn't
passed
there a
anyway later
standalone
on.
border bill?
Never voted on. No, the Democrats said they would do it, but it was never brought to the table.
Wait, I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure they did
It's
bring it
true.
to the table.
No, they didn't vote on that. You can look it up.
I can find it. Let's
They
pull it
did.
up right
You're
now.
right. They did say that they would, but they never brought it to the table because
Yeah,
they said
it was.
no. They never brought it to the table because the Republicans said they would shoot it down, which I'm sure they would have. But at the same
Wait, I
time,
literally see it on congress.gov.
can I see it or can you read it
Yeah.
to me or something? And that's the standalone bill. That's not the bill that's log rolled with all the different things.
I'm pretty sure it is. Um,
I don't believe so. Can you give me the article? I can look at it.
yeah, it's just look up HR 2 Secure the Border Act 2023.
Well, I mean, if it's 2023, then it's clearly not the standalone bill because that wasn't proposed until this year, anyways.
Well, it says 2023, 2024.
Okay. Introduced by House Republicans on May 2nd, 2023. Is what I'm seeing for HR to secure the border, so that's not right. Is that the one you're looking at?
Um, wait, you might have been looking at a different one. Give me 1 minute. You can bring up something in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, the standalone bill was never voted on, unless you can find something that says differently. But I don't believe it was because Republicans said they would shoot it down anyways. But I think that there needs to be blame put on Biden for getting us in this situation in the first place. I mean, it's great that he wants to try to fix
So,
it now.
I have something right here from NPR. It says President Trump said that he publicly lobbied lawmakers to kill any border deal, which would include
But my
which
point
would
is, it
include
never
the
was
one we
brought to
just
the table, though.
mentioned as it relates to the standalone. Apparently, I'm pretty sure it was voted on in the House, but it was shot down
I
because
haven't
Trump
seen
did
that either,
that.
but if you
But
can
I can I
show
can
me.
try to find it. Like it's been a mess. I've seen this.
And you're right. I do know that Republicans said that they would still shoot it down, but I'm just saying at least bring it to the table.
Yeah, I can try to find it. I think this is the bill though. Like I don't know.
The HR2 secure the border.
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure.
No, it says this bill was introduced by House Republicans on May 2nd, 2023.
Yeah,
Oh wait, that's
that's.
it.
Oh yeah, I actually do see that. I'll have to find it later.
Yeah, I mean something to look into, but as far as I know, they didn't. But either way, even if they did or didn't, they're the reason that we're in this crisis at the moment to begin with. So I think that there should be some blame put on that. And the only reason he's doing it is because it's one of the biggest issues for voters, and it's an election year. So he's just trying to do something to, save face.
Yeah. So again, the reason why they shot down the package deal, right? You agree that's because of Ukraine funding, right?
That was one of the biggest ones. There was other things like guaranteed work visas to asylum seekers.
Yeah, I don't see what the issue with that would be.
I mean, it just further incentivizes illegal immigration. So I mean,
That's not incentivizing legal immigration. Asylum is legal.
I I understand that, but asylum is legal. But the vast majority of the people who are claiming asylum don't have legitimate asylum claims, right? So therefore, it would
I don't
be
know what you mean
illegal.
by vast majority. That would only be under Trump's administration, right? I mean, it is a majority, but like there it is the case that like it was overshot under the context of Trump's administration, brought up to levels in which it was not, like the denial rates.
Right. And so, I mean, if that's the most recent numbers we have, which I'm not sure it is, but even if it is, the point stands that the vast majority of these people who are claiming asylum do not have legitimate asylum claims.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have an asylum process, and it's not a vast
I'm not
majority. I just
arguing
told
that.
you
I
that.
never made an argument that we shouldn't have an
We
asylum
don't. It's
process.
not a vast majority.
Yeah, it's over 50%. Absolutely.
That's not saying over 50% is not a vast majority. That's just a majority.
Well,
51% is 51% a vast majority, or is that just a
no, but I
majority?
never said 51%. The numbers that I see
No,
are
you
upwards of
said over
70%.
50% is a vast majority. Like, bro,
It's when you're looking because okay, if we're going to break this down, when you're looking at asylum claims, right? These are processes that happen in court, right? So it's really hard to track and evaluate what percentage of all these court cases were legitimate versus not illegitimate, right? So we don't have exact numbers, but estimates place the number as high as 70% in certain years.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
why I said vast
When you're
majority.
talking about Trump's, okay, I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. Apparently, it was a bill that didn't pass on 420. I can't click on that, Kate, for some reason. Okay, well, here, we can ask about other things because I mean, I do think that like you don't have good basis for Trump there. Like, he said that he would shut down any border bill regardless, right? Because he doesn't want Democrats to look good.
Right,
So if he does
but
care
that's my
about the
point.
border, if he does think that there's a crisis, why would he do that?
Why are you switching topic when we are in the middle of a debate?
I again, what do you mean? What do you want me to continue to address there?
My point is very valid. The fact that the vast majority of people who are coming here to seek asylum have illegitimate cases for asylum.
What's the issue with it's not vast. I literally just fucking told you 3 times.
Okay,
That
what's
is
the
not a
number?
vast majority. Like a little bit over 50% is not a vast majority.
Well, you just made up a little bit over
No,
50%.
I didn't.
Find
All
the
right, did
find
you
the
want me
number.
to wait? You were the one claiming it. I can show you I've seen the numbers before.
Even if it was like 40%, don't you think that's too high? Don't you think
No,
that's you don't think that's too high?
no, I don't think it's too high to say that we shouldn't be able to have people be able to come through here,
I'm
right?
not saying that we shouldn't be allowed to. I'm
Right, you're
saying that
literally what are you? You're calling them all illegal immigrants. Like, get a grip, dude.
no, 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 I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
That's literally what you did. That's what you just did earlier.
no, I
Don't
did
lie.
not. I said the word illegal immigration, but I never said that everyone crossing the border was an illegal immigrant. What?
You were saying the illegal asylum seekers.
I never said illegal asylum seekers.
You did. You did. He literally
Asylum
did.
seeking.
That's
If
such a
someone is
lie.
an asylum seeker, then they're legal. Or if they're granted asylum, I should say they're legal. But seeking asylum is a legal process, so it is legal to seek asylum. But the vast majority of people who are doing that are taking advantage of the system. I did not call everyone that crosses the border illegal. I said that illegal immigration is taking place. And when I'm saying that, I'm referring to the people who are taking advantage of the asylum
So the
process.
denial rate from is around like 20 to 30 something percent. That's for the
The
denial
denial
rate specifically. This is
denial
from
rate of,
CRS
of
reports
like
Congress.gov.
at the border,
This is the
like
denial
turning
rate.
people like at the border when they encounter somebody, they're turning them away. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is for the asylum process.
For what year? It was that number.
This is from 2008 through
Okay.
2022.
2008 does not matter to me whatsoever. We're
Yeah,
in
the only
2024.
times it
That's
goes
like
up is under Trump's administration. It goes up to like 50% denial rate. And then it went back down to typical rates.
it went back down in what year to typical. Can I see the graph that you're looking at?
It's not a graph. It's like this. It's hard for me to like separate it.
Can I look it up?
Yes, I'll give you the title. Asylum process in immigration courts and selected trends.
One more time.
Asylum process in immigration courts and selected trends.
Is it CRS reports?
The other rate is the highest
What's that referring
from
to?
what I typically see. It just says other
Is,
rate.
is it CRS reports? That's the one.
In other instances, an other outcome may include cases in which the respondent has withdrawn his or her application for the system or failed to abide by the deadlines, right? Other be order removed, right? There could be plenty of things.
Are you looking at the CRS report?
One thing you could claim is like a majority of people don't get granted.
Right, but if they have a legitimate reason, then it would be granted, right? There's a list of reasons for why somebody can claim asylum. It's not just anyone can come claim asylum. There's specific criteria that you have to meet. And if you do not meet that criteria, then you will not be granted, right?
Yeah, I understand. I understand, but this again doesn't give you any reason to say that like we shouldn't give similar conditions to people who are still going through the seeking asylum process. Right?
Yeah.
You're like saying that again the people who have to go through these process should have to go through a more harsh process.
No, I don't think they should have to go through a more harsh process. I'm
Well,
saying
that's
that there
exactly
needs
what it would be through the context of Trump's remain in Mexico border policy. It's a harsher process than it would be under the context of the Biden administration, who again allows for people to come in here. Maybe under the system, they also can get access to visas, right? Certain things like that.
but that's not the way that you're supposed to apply for a visa, right?
Wait, so I mean, the way that you're supposed to apply by the visa is set up by the system that exists, right? If the system exists in a particular way to do that, that's how it would operate. That's how it's supposed
You
to
just
occur
said
then.
that. Okay, so we were talking about Trump's remain in Mexico policy, right? So basically, what that did was the people are coming here, they're claiming asylum, then they're being handed a court date like 7 years in the future from now, um, and saying show up for your asylum seeking case at this date, this time. It's many, many years in the future, right? But under the remain in Mexico policy, these people were just waiting in Mexico instead of here.
Yeah. Again, we've had the same process for literally like how long prior to the context of Trump's administration. Yet you
Right.
didn't
The
believe
process.
these same types of
There's nothing wrong with
you
the
didn't
asylum
believe
claiming process.
you didn't believe that these same types of immigration issues existed. So if these same types of immigration issues didn't exist and we had the same process as it relates to asylum as we do now, I don't understand why this new process of asylum is at all a relevant point for why you're going to vote in this election for Trump.
It's not a new process of asylum.
This is a new process of asylum because again, the process in which we had as it relates to the context of Obama and previous administrations was very similar, right?
Yeah.
This
So
is a
it's
new
very
border
similar.
policy with Trump in which there was a stay in Mexico border policy.
Right. Because like you said, the number of encounters were going way up. So there's a ton of people who are flocking and claiming asylum. Most of them do not have legitimate cases. So instead of letting them stay here for 7 years and then turning them away, which is very cruel, by the way, they were just forced to wait in Mexico instead of here.
Wait, so how is it more cruel to allow them to wait in the United States rather than to waiting in Mexico? Explain.
Why as
Yeah,
Americans do we have a
please tell me
right?
how that makes sense.
Yeah, here, I'll make an example. Why, as us as Americans, why do we have a right to a speedy trial in court?
Why? Appreciate the
Yeah.
marvelous confetti. Thank you so much. Well, because it's better to do it quicker than for it to take long.
Okay, so why did it not be the same for an asylum case?
I would say that we should make the asylum cases go faster if we can.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
So that's
when did
why
I
it's
dispute
cruel.
that?
You're
Wait, no,
asking me why
no,
it's cruel.
wait. How is it? No, that's not answering my question though. You
Okay.
said it was more cruel for them to wait in the United States than for them to have to be in Mexico.
Because they come here, they start working, they start paying taxes, they support their communities. They're having a better life, and then you're going to turn them away 7 years
Wait,
later
but wouldn't that be
after
the case if they would have to move if it is in Mexico as well?
it might be, but it's
Because
not
they
our
might
fault
not
at that
even
point.
be from Mexico.
They might not be. No,
So what do they do?
I still think that's cruel. I mean, if you don't think that's cruel, then I guess
You think it's more cruel to subject them to a I don't know than they can get work visas in the United States?
I think it's cruel to let somebody in here under the asylum seeking process and then turn them away in 7 years. Like you said, it's better to have something done quicker
I don't
than
see
take
how
a
it's
long
more
time.
cruel. You're just not even giving a reason.
Maybe not more cruel, but they're still cruel though, right?
Okay, but
So
like when you're doing these comparative analyses, right, you're going to acknowledge what's going to happen on the other side. And I think the punishment, right, the treatment, all right, of immigrants coming to this country is far worse under a Trump administration.
well, if they don't have a legitimate asylum claim, then they shouldn't be coming here to claim asylum.
Again, right? Sure, you could say whatever you want as it relates to whether or not they should or
Do you
shouldn't be
agree or do
coming
you
here as it
disagree?
relates to that. If they, well, again, if they don't have a legitimate asylum claim, right, they might not be through the context of the asylum process, but I don't think that they're like unjustified in trying to come here, right? I do see it as a legitimate point that people, right, come here for a better life. I don't
Yeah, I
dispute that, right?
understand.
And I think
And
that's actually
there's
necessary for our economy. You understand that we don't
absolutely.
have enough young people to take care
Yes.
of the
100%.
old people, right, in the future.
Yeah,
You understand that,
absolutely.
right? So we require
Yep.
immigration as a process to sustain
And
this.
there's already a process of legally immigrating to the United States, right? You don't, the only way is
Yeah,
to
and I
get
want to make that
seek
process
asylum.
faster. Instead of it taking 5 to 7 years on average, it should take fucking 6 months max.
Okay, but that doesn't have to do with the border. That has to do with visas and all other types of things, right?
It relates to immigration.
Immigration, but we're talking about the crisis at the border right now. Of course,
Wait, but
immigration.
that relates to immigration. Come on, be fucking for real.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not against immigration. I'm not arguing that immigration is bad. My argument was that there's a crisis at the southern border.
Yeah, and that relates to immigration. What?
Sure, but I don't have a problem with that. So you're bringing up something that I'm not arguing.
What are you saying? You don't have a problem with immigration? Okay.
Of course
So
not.
I'm saying that this relates to immigration. That's why we're having a conversation about immigration.
Okay, that's fine. We agree. But let's go back to the
Okay.
point where we disagree, which is the
Yeah, what's
southern
your
border.
point? I
Are
don't
you
see what your
serious?
point is.
You don't see my point?
No.
Okay. So you don't think it's a problem that the people who have legitimate asylum claims have to come here and wait 7 years to hear their court case
I don't
because
think
there's
they
a
should have
bunch
to
of
take
people.
7 years.
I agree with you. And
We
that's
can
where
make the
Biden's
system go
policies have gotten
faster.
it. We could, but the
Wait, but like
policies
Trump's system didn't go faster. Biden's the one advocating for the system to go faster. Where's Trump doing that?
advocating how what
He's
legislation has he
advocated for the
proposed?
system to go faster, right?
What
He's
legislation has he proposed?
he's proposed things for it to be shorter. It just relates to Congress passing these things.
When have they voted on one? What bill is it?
I can try to pull it up.
I would be interested because I haven't heard of anything like that.
Uh, Wait, no, but I'm just telling you Biden wants this. I don't know if it's a bill, but I'm just saying Biden wants this.
I mean, great, he wants it, but if he's
You
not going to
understand
do
that the
anything,
ones who propose bills are people in Congress, right?
so the president can as well.
What you think that Biden proposes bills? You have no clue what you're talking about. No, Biden does not propose bills. What are the three branches of government?
Come on, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, what are the three branches of government?
Executive, legislative, and judicial. Come on, dude.
Okay, I'm just making sure, bro.
Okay,
I'm just
maybe he doesn't specifically propose bills, but you know what I meant, right?
no.
Does the president have the ability to propose legislation or create a legislation?
Oh, apparently the last border bill had that included, by the way, to make it
What?
quicker.
How?
What do you want me to give you? Right,
I
I
mean,
just told
I
you.
mean, how are you going to make it go quicker? That's my question.
Again, by
By
making
hire,
it in the border bill to again allocate funds for this type of stuff. Right, I could
well,
read the bill,
specifically for what?
the immigration, to make the immigration system go faster.
But how do you make it go faster? What specifically did he
What the fuck are
propose?
you asking me? Hire more judges, get more
Okay, there
people
you go.
associated with the developmental process, make it more digitalized,
Okay, that makes
right?
sense. That's what I was asking.
Okay.
More judges for a speedy process would be great.
Okay, what's your point then?
My point is that the reason that we're backlogged this far is because of his policies to this point.
I don't
Now
see
it's a
how that
big
is the
issue with a
case.
lot of people. Then how come we weren't in this same conundrum before?
Again, we weren't in the same conundrum when he was VP.
Okay.
When he his administration was literally in office. Remember that?
Well, that was Obama's administration.
Yeah, that's which who was a part of that as vice president?
Right. I
I
understand
just
that, but
give me a name of that real quick. I just want to
Joe
hear who it
Biden.
was. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh,
I don't see the point.
You understand they had very similar policy. Yet we still didn't see this issue.
So then, what's the reason for this issue now?
I don't know why, but I know it's not related to the policy because we had the same policy.
I disagree. I think that
Name
it's
the relevant
absolutely.
difference between the policy under the Obama administration and the Biden administration as it relates to immigration.
I have not evaluated the Obama administration policy, but I can tell you now that they incentivize immigration.
Yeah, I would love to see the relevant difference in policy between the two.
Well, I can tell you why it's such a big issue now, compared to.
Completely irrelevant to the question I'm asking, but
Just told you I don't know. I have not analyzed Obama's.
okay. Well, then we wouldn't be able to make a claim on this.
But I just said I can claim. I can tell you why it's such a problem now.
Okay, I don't really. Why do you think it's a problem?
Because it's being incentivized.
What's being incentivized?
People coming here illegally.
That's the difference between Obama's administration.
No, I just told you I don't know the difference. I
Okay,
can
so
tell
then,
you
well,
why.
then that's not. Then there's no relevant difference you're identifying here, right? Like
I
if you're
don't.
comparing, like, well, then what are you saying, bro?
I'm asking you to move on because I do not
Okay, we can
know
move
the
on,
relevant
right?
difference.
Do you want to move on to the Trump tax policy that took money from poor people and gave it to rich people?
In what year?
From 2017 through 2027, there's a distributional analysis that studies the effects between those years of the Tax Cut
Compared
and
to.
Jobs Act as compared to it not being in effect.
So there's no date range for the comparison. It's just of all time or
I
to
just
not
told
being in
you from
effect.
2027,
That would
2017 to 2027.
which would
Those are
be
the
when it
estimated
wasn't.
dates.
Which would be when it is in effect, right? So what are you comparing it to when it was not in effect? Just all time when it
No,
wasn't
no,
in
they do a
effect, or
distributional analysis to make the comparison.
of what date range?
What are you asking? I just told you. The date ranges between 2017 and 2027.
And then you need to compare that to a second set, right?
What are you talking about, bro? I literally just told you again of it not being in place. What is so confusing, bro? Like you
It
ask
not
the
being in
weirdest
place.
questions, bro.
Okay, it not being in place is all of human history before 2017. So are you comparing it to all of that, or is there
No,
a
no, no, no.
specific?
You're trying to see.
Okay,
No, again, if it weren't going to be applicable in that time period.
so you're saying based on the way it was
Yeah, what it would
previously
have been if
compared to okay.
what
Now
it
I'm
would have
following you.
been, right? If there was no
Now I'm following you.
yeah, okay.
But I mean, no, that's not one of my specific points. But I mean, you brought that up as a good point, but that's not one of my reasons.
But it took money from poor people and gave it to rich people, and you're okay with that? You're okay with supporting a
Wouldn't
politician that does
I
that?
would I would not necessarily support it. No,
Okay,
but
so then why do you, what is the
it's
any
done.
do you have any policy that you like of Donald Trump's that he influenced to get passed?
Yeah, I could name plenty, but real
Name
quickly
one.
before we move on to that, like you just said, this tax code is until 2027, right?
Yeah,
So
the
regardless
effects.
of who we vote for in this next election, it won't affect it. So I don't think it's relevant.
Wait, no, no. But the point is, again, I'm saying that you don't want to support someone who's going to affect more policy like this, and they're going to be in office to be able to set up the next
So when Biden or when
in
Trump,
terms of influence.
when he when he signed that bill or whatever you want to say, his tax code, was it intended to do that, or was that just an unintended?
Yeah, this is a part of the bill. This is something they knew back then because this tax policy, the analysis from the Tax Policy Center, this is from December 18th, 2017. This is something they already knew.
I would like to, yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I would like to look into it because I haven't looked into that. You can give me that article. I'll save it.
Yeah, just look up the Brookings article and it links right to it. Look up the middle class needs a tax cut. Trump didn't give it to him, and then you can scroll down to like a table that looks like this, and then right above that you'll see the results from the Joint Committee on Taxation and from the Tax Policy Center in terms of the distributional analysis.
Well, yeah, that'll be interesting for me to look into. But I could say the same thing about Biden policies. Like,
Name the Biden policy that took money from poor people and gave it to rich people.
Sure. His student loan cancellation plan.
It
It
didn't
will
do
increase
that. What?
it will increase the total cost to taxpayers to 500 59 billion and benefit
Yeah, but
households
that
earning more than
benefits.
300,000 in annual income the most.
Oh, can you give me wait? Can you give me a source that's gonna
Yeah,
do that the
University of
most?
Pennsylvania Penn Wharton budget model.
Okay, what's the title?
I don't have the title of the article. It says per the University of Pennsylvania's Penn Wharton budget model.
Penn Wharton budget model. That doesn't give me
Yeah.
enough information to find it.
I mean, I'm not reading it from the specific article.
Well,
I'm just
okay.
reading a report that cites an article, and
Yeah,
that's
okay.
what it
Well,
says.
where's the report so I can find this? What's the title of
I
the
don't,
report?
yeah, I don't have the exact title of the report. Like I said, I'm just looking at someone who cited.
Yeah, what's the title of the thing that cited this?
It was a tweet from an account called Unusual Whales. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm sure that we could find it if we did a little bit of Googling, considering we have.
A a tweet, bro. I'm
a,
sorry.
a
You did
tweet
not.
that it.
You did
Okay.
not say that and did not realize how wild that just sounds, bro. You
But
just
when
cited
it's
a tweet to me, bro. I can't even
right,
believe it.
but the tweet is citing the University of Pennsylvania's Penn Wharton budget model, right? It's not like
Okay,
just
so
some random
then you
person
should
just.
be able to find it. Where can we
Okay,
find
I'll
this?
look for it. Since you just want to sit there and act like you can't be bothered, I'll find it while you're.
Yeah, by a tweet. I'm sorry, bro. Like, if I
I
cited
gave you.
a tweet,
I'm not citing a tweet. I'm citing a model that a tweet also cited.
okay. Appreciate the
I'll
handout.
find it.
Thank you so much. But you've clicked on the model, right?
Hmm?
You've clicked on the model before, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then how'd you verify the tweet?
I don't know. Let's verify it now.
Okay, all right. Let's
Have you
verify this
verified
shit right
everything
now.
you've ever said?
In the meantime, everyone, do tap that screen. Let's run it up to 250,000 likes. Share the live as well, everyone. If you want to support me, Venmo, Cash App in the bio, as always. Also, follow me if you have not already, everyone. We need about 300 followers to be able to get to 500 for today, everyone. We're a bit away. We're a bit away. Do give it a second, though, everyone. We got about until 6:30 today, so we got another 3 hours or so. Another 3 hours. Because I have class at 7 o'clock, everyone. I do apologize. I do tomorrow, everyone, or not tomorrow, next week, everyone. I probably won't be live for very long, maybe like a few hours on Monday next week. But that day I have to study for finals and I have a final, so I probably won't be on for very long that day. But every other day I'll be on longer. Kara, thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's like my hardest day for me. Donna, thank you for the $50 on Cash App. Can we get a W, Donna, in the chat? Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate it. Yo, W for them in the chat. Fucking love that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Much love. Becoming, thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Becoming. Yo, I appreciate everyone. Y'all are too kind. Y'all are too kind. I appreciate it. Study hard, Parker. It's your future. Yes, I know. I know. I'm done after this, everyone. I graduate in a week. About a week, a little bit. Yeah, basically a week. I'll be done within a week. So I'm super, super fucking excited, chat. So excited to finally like be done. Congratulations, all. I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate it. Graduate with what? A bachelor's in economics. Yes, I'm super excited to be done.
Okay, I mean, I found the model and I found a report that overviews the model as well.
Yeah. What's
Uh,
the title of the model so I can find it? Trina, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the Little Crown as well. Thank you.
Analysis of President Biden's new plans for student loan debt relief. Penn Wharton University of
Analysis
Pennsylvania.
of Joe Biden's what?
Just analysis of President Biden's new plans for student loan debt relief. And then add Penn Wharton University of Pennsylvania budget model.
All right.
I mean, you're gonna have to
Let's.
like if you when you're looking at this, you're gonna have to like download the data and like analyze all of it. But I can also give you a
Sure, no, sure. What's the claim you were making?
that it benefits households earning more than 300,000 the
You
most.
said the most, right?
Yeah,
Like, you mean like most of the money goes to households making that over
yeah,
that level of
it
income?
benefits them the
Where
most.
does it say that?
Like I said, I just found I'm not going to download that data and go through it all on live. I'd have to spend hours doing that. I can give you an article that tries to break it down and summarize it.
Um, yeah, so I would love to see. All right, because
But if
I
this is
don't
true,
I don't
sure.
see
So
where that
maybe
says that.
maybe we should both actually analyze this. But if it was true, then it would basically be the same thing what you just said about Trump's tax policies.
Yeah, but if that was true, if there's I don't see any of this.
It's right, but
It,
that's because we're gonna
like
have to.
you can look at this and you can see different parts. I'm looking at it right here. The average amount of debt relief, right, seems to be assisting borrowers who experience hardship in paying back their loans, with the average household income is $39,880. And that's $20,000 of average debt relief. So you're saying that like the number of debt relief for a household that is higher was a little bit more? Is that what you're saying? That doesn't mean a majority of the money went to those particular people. There's also waiving
My
accrued and capitalized interest for millions of borrowers.
right.
So I don't see that this
What
isn't something like it took money from poor people and gave it to rich people. This is just like a universal policy that benefits people. Like for example,
it's benefiting.
Under Medicare for all, people who make a lot of money still get care. Whoa.
Right,
So we're helping rich people? Yeah. We're giving the resources to everyone, including
right,
rich people.
but my point is with this, somebody has to pay for this, right? And the taxpayers who make a lot less money are paying for it, and it's benefiting the people who make a lot more money than the people who are paying for it.
So if you want to look at the budgetary cost of what you're specifically referencing, so if you want to reference the policy that gives to like mostly what you're referencing, that makes up a minority of the overall budgetary cost. Do you want me to show you
Okay.
how? If you
Yeah,
actually
I'm not
scroll
following.
up
Yeah,
to table one, budgetary costs of Biden's new provisions, most of them are not for the group that is right under that in table two for the average household income of 313,000, right? Most of it is for people, right, who make significantly less than that. If you look at the overall billions of dollars given.
yeah, I'm not following you. I'm reading it right now. Trying
Read
to.
table one and table two.
Right.
Those are the ones that are going to be relevant.
Yeah, I already read table two. I'm looking at table one now because you said scroll up there. And what were you pointing to there?
Yeah, you see how it says the budgetary cost of it? It tells you how much each of these particular provisions costed, right?
Sure.
And a majority of the money didn't go to those households that make more. It went to households that make pretty much around the normal or average household income. So,
And you're getting the information on how much the households come from table two.
yeah.
And show me these numbers that you're seeing. Why is it the minority?
You can look at this again. literally, you can look up the number of borrowers, and you can also see the budgetary costs. It says waiving accrued and capitalized interest for millions of borrowers. The
Right.
budgetary cost was 57.75. That's significantly more than that of the eliminating student debt for borrowers in repayment for 20 years or more, which was 19 billion.
Yeah, and
So,
their average
n-
household income is 312.
yeah, so 19 of the 84 billion went to households in which make that much, right? Whereas the rest of it went to households in which make significantly less. So this isn't 83% of the benefits going to the top 1%. This isn't take money from poor people and give to rich people. This is a majority of the payments went to the average American, and a particular percent went to like richer people as well. Do I agree with the much that's given to people who on average make 312,000 a year? No, right? But it is the case that that's true, right? I mean, it benefited them at a less significantly lesser rate. So you making this claim that it's the same as Trump tax policy is ridiculous.
I mean, but the number you're pointing to is still household income of $82,000, right?
Yeah, which is going to be a little bit over the average. That's just a
Right.
little
So
bit
that's
over.
not right. So that would be upper middle class.
No, no, this is still mostly middle class.
What do you mean mostly middle
It's
class?
in the middle class, yeah, because this is average. We're talking averages. I bet if you were to take medians, it would be significantly lower. And we're talking about household, which household has more than one person on average.
I believe that $82,000 a year would be it.
Jordan, thank you for the $15 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Jordan. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to determine what they're specifying as a household in this.
No, it's just any other one is relating to household.
What's that?
Like it's household is just inside of a household. Like I don't know how else to describe it.
Household is
So
just
so
inside
this
of a
is
household.
this is like something you would expect if we're talking about people who are in college though. Because if you
Right.
did average household income by college graduates, you'd likely see this.
Right. And then let's look at the one on the bottom who's assisting
Yeah,
borrowers.
if you look up average household income, it's about like $2,000, $3,000 more than this.
Right. And but the real people who need help are the people who experience hardship paying back their loans and they benefited the least out of everybody, right?
Wait, say that one more time.
In table two, the last one, assisting borrowers who experience hardship in paying back their loans, they received the least amount of benefit. So the people who can afford to pay back their loans got all the benefit, and the people who have hardship paying back got barely any.
Yeah, so again, that would just be based upon the number of borrowers that was impacted. There were 16 million borrowers on the top one, whereas there was significantly less for the ones at the bottom. Those people at the bottom actually got more money. They got $20,000 in average debt relief, whereas the waiving accrued capitalized interest ones that made up a majority of them got about 35.95. So they almost got like they got about like 7 to 10 times more overall on average. So they made more money. They just make up less people. So you're manipulating data there because you didn't
I'm not.
understand it.
I'm not manipulating
No, no,
data.
no,
I'm
no,
just.
no, no. I didn't mean. Sorry, I don't mean to say it like that. I mean like you misread the data, misunderstood it, and then it came off incorrect.
I mean,
Because
potentially,
most
but
of it, look, the average debt relief in dollars, $20,000 for the ones down here. There's just less people. Whereas
right.
16,000,000, 3,500.
But my point is, why include the people who don't need it, and then why don't you get rid of them and then include more people who are experiencing hardship paying back their loans, right?
I think that you could argue that you could give more money to people who are experiencing hardship in their loans, but again, I'm just saying
No, not
like,
give more money to them. I'm
what are
saying
you saying?
give. So do you think that the borrowers impacted by this bill, those are the only people in the United States who are experiencing hardship paying back their loans?
Probably not.
So why not include the other people who are experiencing that and
Yeah,
get
like
rid of the people who
I
can
would
afford it?
argue for that, but it's better to have
Right.
this rather than to not. Right? Like
Maybe
you understand how
not
bipartisan.
necessarily.
Policy
I'm not
works.
necessarily. I don't think that it benefited because a lot of this money is going to people who can afford to
Wait,
pay
but it's
back
for the
their.
middle. It's meant to build out the middle class as well.
I don't see how that's true. If these people are not experiencing hardship paying back their loans, then I don't think that giving them money for their loans is a good use of tax dollars.
No, it's meant to stimulate the buying of houses and building out of the economy for that generation. That was the point of that spending policy.
I mean, I understand that that was the intent, but if it necessarily didn't work out that way, then
It did work out that way. I don't know what you're talking about.
okay, then I guess what I need you to do is define specifically who you're talking about when you're saying it was designed to allow that generation to purchase houses and such.
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking about like generations that have student debt. The reason why we would reference student debt is because the existence of student debt has limited their abilities to be able to buy houses, start families, things like that, right, that are conducive towards economic growth long term. That's the point of these types of debt policies.
I mean, potentially, but we don't have any information on that in here. All we have is
What?
people
Wait, are
telling.
you saying that if you give money to younger people, they aren't going to use it towards their lives? Like, be so fucking for real.
I'm not necessarily arguing that, but I'm just saying that's not what this data is telling us.
That we don't need this data to tell us that. We know that they do that based upon us giving money to that. That's the whole point.
But what this data is saying is that these people can afford to pay back their student loans. So that might already take into account the fact that they are paying rent or
They
whatever their
might be able
mortgage.
to, because the average American, even given the household income, is still living paycheck to paycheck. So can they pay it off? And if they can pay it off, is it restricting them from being able to do plenty of other things?
That was my point. We don't know if it's taking into account that or not.
What do you mean? Right, all this data is showing us is that we helped people in these groups. You're questioning
Right.
whether or not it was most
And we don't
effective.
know this group that we're referencing. We do not know if
Is it
it's
more effective to give money to the average American or to give money to the top 1%?
is it more effective in what?
Okay, so would you rather us give this money through student debt, right, or do stuff that like rich people would want, like we give them tax breaks?
I mean, that's very vague. I don't. If you're
Would you
just
rather have
simply
the
ask
Tax Cut and Jobs Act, or would you rather have this particular student debt policy?
that, I have no idea. That's way too broad. I have no idea. If what you were asking what you were asking me before, like, how are you going to ask me about two separate legislation and just ask me to say which one is better without me like analyzing each of them?
All right, you can go analyze them and then come back another day
No,
if
I
you'd like.
mean, no, that's fine. We don't have to discuss this anymore. We can move on. I think you're like going way too deep into something that we don't
I'm going
necessarily
too
need to.
deep into it, but we didn't go deep enough for you to be able to answer. Yeah, makes total sense.
You're asking me which one do you prefer, but the two options are very broad and encompass a lot of information,
So I'm
right?
not going
So
deep into it enough, but I'm also going too deep into it.
the question you're asking me is not fair for me to answer without looking, is what I meant to say.
All right, well then you should look deeper into it, and then you can come back
Okay,
and
I will.
leave.
Let's move on to something else.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
We can talk about um, a lot of scary far left policies that um, Biden just
Name
sits with.
one.
And name one. How about support of Hamas?
You think Joe Biden supports Hamas?
I didn't know. I didn't say that. I said far left views that he sits with. He doesn't necessarily like. You see what I'm saying?
Can you give me a source that indicates that Joe Biden supports Hamas?
No, because I never claimed that.
Okay, what are you claiming then?
I am claiming that there are scary far left views that Biden appeases.
Can you show me how he's done that?
What do you mean? Can I show you how he's done that?
Can you show me how he's done that?
He's not preventing them, so clearly he's appeasing them.
He's not preventing who? People from protesting?
No, I never said people couldn't protest.
Okay, so then what should he do?
He should stop appeasing it.
Stop what?
Appeasing
Appeasing what?
people with people with these views.
How do you do that?
By what do you know what appeasing means?
I'm asking how do you do this?
Right, and the word appeasing. Do you know what that means?
Can you answer my question without shifting the burden?
I'm not
Yes,
shifting the
I
burden.
do. Can you stop shifting the burden though? Answer my
Okay,
question.
I just did. By appeasing means that he's not doing anything.
So what should he be doing?
I mean, he should probably deploy the National Guard and break up violence.
So he should deploy the National Guard and break up protests.
No, I said violence, not
Okay,
protest.
wait, they're already doing that. They're already breaking up violence.
Who?
The police,
Where?
right? Why it wouldn't be the National Guard, but the police are doing that
You
already.
just asked me what Biden should do. I said that he should deploy the National Guard
Why?
to
Sanders, please
prevent
get a grip.
violence
Push the
from
$5.
occurring.
Thank you, hot dog.
You disagree?
Say that one more time.
You said why, and I said to prevent violence from occurring.
Again, right? What violence are you specifically referencing? Like January 6th?
I mean, yeah, sure. I would
Oh,
have loved to
so what should have Trump done on January 6th, hours beforehand?
deploy the National Guard.
Oh, so Trump.
So are you just going to change topic on me because you thought I
Wait,
was
so I'm
correct on
just
the last
asking the
one?
question, right?
Yeah,
Because
I agree with you.
it seems like you're only willing to apply it to one scenario but not the other.
No, I just absolutely agreed with you.
Okay, so I mean, well then, how is it showing of a difference between the two?
What?
How is it showing of a difference between the two if they've both done this? They haven't deployed the National Guard when they quote unquote should have.
I don't know. I didn't bring up that point. You did.
Okay, well you originally did, but go for it.
What do you mean?
You originally did, but go for it.
No, I just brought up one point and then you applied it to a different situation. I agreed with you, and now you're asking me the difference between the two.
Do you want to give me a response to anything?
To what question? To what question?
Just to anything I've said.
To anything you've said in the entire conversation?
What we just were talking about.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You brought up something and applied it to a different. I don't know why you're acting like you can't bear the conversation.
Not that I can't bear a conversation, it's that you're just like insufferable, but
Why? What am I doing? I'm having a good faith discussion with you about politics. Would you prefer me to be in here screaming 2024, or would you rather
no,
have like,
that's not at all.
okay, so
I think it's a bit different to say that just because you're not screaming, that means you're not insufferable, right?
what am I?
It's the level of not acknowledging reality.
What did I not acknowledge?
Well, I mean, as we were relating to the different types of policies, well, Trump with the finances, it relates to the tax policy, him as it relates to the context of the election. There are plenty of things.
Yeah, and I agreed with you.
With what parts? You didn't. You said you had to look into it.
That was my point. You brought up the tax code, and I said if it does that, which it did, you gave me the article. I agree with you.
Okay, well then you're considering it bad. You're considering his tax policy bad. So what's the relevant difference between the two that makes you think that Trump is better? If we've indicated multiple things that we consider really bad within the context of Republicans, like Trump.
I'm listing my reasons, and then you're just bringing up different situations that Trump did and asking me if I agree with those, and I'm saying no. But do you agree with the ones that I'm bringing up?
Well, you'd give me the particular scenario, and I'll tell you if I agree with it. And again, if it is something that's also been done on the other side, that's not a relevant difference between the two to say that one is better than the other one.
I'm not the arguments that I'm making aren't necessarily like specifically what is Biden doing here. I'm just saying that I feel like we need to get somebody in who is willing to apply common sense to a lot of the things that we are seeing right now,
And
such
that's
as,
Donald Trump.
I mean, unfortunately, it is.
How? Give me a reason to believe Donald Trump is going to do this.
Because he's not. What do you mean? Are you just like trying to like spin me in circles, or do you actually want to debate?
I asked you for a reason, and you're getting mad at me for asking for a reason?
I'm not asking. No, I'm not mad at you. I'm asking what point are you like working towards here?
I asked you for a reason. Ken, I appreciate the dollar. Thank you so much.
Okay, can you re-ask the entire question because I'm not following?
What was I just talking about? What did
The
I just
relevant
ask you the
difference
reason
between
for?
Trump and Biden.
Okay, well then give me one.
That's all we've been talking about the entire time. The border
Which
was my
again,
main
if
one.
if Trump wanted to do something about the border, he would have passed the border bills. He would have said specifically, right, that he would pass
Biden
them
can't.
regardless of
What do
whether or
you
not it
mean
would
Trump
make
would have
Biden
passed the
look
border
good.
bill? Trump didn't vote on the border bill.
Trump said that he would try to shut down any border bill.
He would try, but that's just him telling people not to vote for it.
Any border bill, regardless. So the point is that he doesn't want Democrats to look good, right? So he didn't want to support the border bill. So he doesn't think it's big enough of a crisis for him to step in.
I think, and I agree with you. That's disingenuous, right? And
It is.
that's not the way that ideally this government would run. But at the same time, can you acknowledge the fact that the reason that we are in this crisis right now is because of the policies that Biden has
What
put in
policy?
place, repealing all of the. We already talked about
Wait,
this.
wait, no, no, no. Those didn't cause that because you could not indicate that those things were a problem under Obama's administration, yet the policy was the same as Biden's. So,
Obama's
like,
administration is irrelevant to.
no, it's not. It is not irrelevant. It
Why
is
is it
not
not
irrelevant
relevant?
because we're looking at what is going to be the determinant.
Okay, when you say we're looking at to what's going to be the determinant, what is the determinant then?
Again, you don't have to determine a determinant. All I just have to say is that it doesn't seem to be this one.
And when you're saying it's not this one, what are you referring to?
What were we just talking about, dude?
You tell me.
Dude, it's like every single time we're talking about something, you're just gonna every single time I have to like continue explaining the same thing over
No,
and over again. I'm
I
like not
literally think
interested
you're.
in having that conversation
I think
where I
that
have
you
to
are.
listen. I'm not interested in having to explain myself over and over again. We were comparing the context of Obama's administration as it relates to immigration policy to Trump's. I mean, not
No,
to
we
Trump's, to
were not doing
Obama's
that.
and Biden's. My bad. Right. So like
Okay.
again, I'm just looking at that basis. I don't have to explain myself after I just explained it twice
I'm
over
not
and over and
asking you
over
to
and over
explain
again.
yourself. You
You
brought up a
just
very
did.
specific point,
I did,
a
and I addressed
determinant.
it.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about when you say that, so I'm asking you to clarify. I really think that you're like trying to confuse me to like make me look
I'm
dumb.
not confusing you. I just explained it
Okay, then can you do
multiple
it one more
times.
time for me? What was the specific determinant?
I just told him I didn't know the determinant. Like I don't know how many more times I have to go over the same thing. He's definitely pranking, bro. There's no way he was being real. It's like, what, dude? What is this guy talking about, bro? Only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, y'all. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. All right. It's not accepting this person. Let me try the next, everyone. Please only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. Finn, thank you so much for the beret. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
For me, I am
Yeah.
50, 58 years old. I'm not, let me explain. I wanted to get on here and talk to that guy because I think he got to understand.
We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Please only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024, everyone. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. All right, let me try to get to the next, y'all. Please, again, everyone, only send a guest request if you will vote for Trump in 2024. I don't think we have like any guest requests right now, so if you do want to join in, make sure to do so real quick, y'all. Okay. All right. Let me try this next, y'all. Do give it a second, everyone. We were finally working, and now it just takes like years to get someone to send a guest request. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, what's
Yo,
up,
what's up?
partner? So I woo first round with 24.
And why is that?
Joe Biden made everyone get vaccinated just to let millions of unvaccinated immigrants in the country.
So you understand different times in which there's a pandemic versus non-pandemic, and he didn't force everyone to get vaccinated.
Oh, pretty much.
No?
You couldn't go to work. You couldn't go to school. It was pretty much forced.
Wait, so you're saying you couldn't go to work? Right. Do you work at a company in which there's over 100 employees?
No, I'm in college.
Okay, so you could work, you could go to school. You
No,
could
you
have just chose to go to a different school.
No, literally all the schools like demanded it.
Not every school mandated it. That's completely false.
Yeah, besides Florida, it's Florida schools, but
Did you have to take it? The vaccine?
no, actually, like
No, so he
I got
forced us to
exempt by
take it,
law.
but I didn't have to take it.
I got exempt for it because I said it was against the religious beliefs, and they exempted me.
Oh, so you didn't get forced. You just made up some bullshit reason to not take it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
But it was forced.
Well, he
Everyone
was really forced to take it that he could just make up some bullshit reason to get around it, you know?
Yeah, the
Like,
military was forced.
wait, military has to get vaccinated with so many different things. That's called a requirement for the job.
No,
Did you know that when you work at a job, there are certain requirements?
and everyone that got it got sick.
Andrew, did you know there are certain requirements when you work a job?
Yeah, and every single job had the vaccine.
No, not everyone had the vaccine. There were plenty of jobs that you did not have to get vaccinated to work at.
Not even that. They were lying about the COVID the whole time.
Who?
Matrix.
Matrix? Who's the who's the Matrix?
Joe Biden and all those imbeciles up there.
How did Joe name one lie Joe Biden engaged in about the vaccine or
Well,
about
it's
the
like-
virus?
They said, okay, so say I had COVID, right? But then I went to shark-infested waters and my arm got bit off by a shark. They'll still say it was a COVID death. And
No,
they'll
they
do a
wouldn't.
shark
There's a
attack.
distinction in the data between COVID death and between like death with COVID and death from COVID. So there's
Yeah,
a
but-
distinction in the data.
But they're still using the stats as COVID stats.
They're still using what stats as COVID stats?
Like other ways people are dying as COVID. Like old people or get like just some of them have
Yo,
cardiac
Mr.
arrest.
Jones, do you want to send a guest request? I think we can run a 2v2 real quick if you want to, Mr. Jones.
Hold on. Let me take this off real quick so I'm not speaking for anybody but myself. Hold on.
For sure.
What's this guy's name, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, we can just do a little 2v2 real quick. I thought it'd be fun.
I only have like 5 minutes. I'll try to get as much in as I can.
Only have 5 minutes? That's a rough.
What's up, man? Long time no see.
Yeah. You still voting for Trump?
Yes, sir.
And why is that?
He's the obvious better choice.
That is
And
why?
not only that, the dude's a fucking patriot, man. Who's gonna be a fucking billionaire and then lower himself to come try and fix this country? Yo, who said what's up to me?
What do you mean by patriot?
Shelby Long, what's up? He's a patriot, man.
And
Dude,
what does
he-
that mean?
He was popular and everybody loved him, and then he ran for the presidency, and then
I don't
everybody
think
called-
everyone loved him, right?
Okay, well, right, but you understand what I'm saying. He was almost like a pop figure.
He's
was
such a
like-
patriot that he faked having bone spurs, so he didn't have to get drafted. Such a patriot, right?
Imagine dodging the draft multiple times as a Patriot. That's crazy.
Parker, I have a
You
question.
mean a Patriot?
so-
You mean a Patriot?
Okay, you can.
Okay.
He had
And then
bone
what did he
problems.
call
He still has
that? What
bone-
did he call the
he's-
veterans, Parker?
you
Suckers
say-
and losers?
He also said that they're not war heroes if they were captured.
Right.
Yeah, all right. Look,
Sounds
look,
like that's some Patriot.
Look, okay, look.
Oh, okay.
Every
Something
time.
else.
All right, is this how this is gonna go? He did have bone problems, so he didn't come into the military. I saw people that came into the military that got sent out because they had problems that they didn't even tell them about, so they had to be sent home.
Oh, buddy.
What was the second thing that you were saying? I'm so tired, man. I've been.
He
fucking-
called veterans that were captured.
Right.
He
Okay,
said, yeah,
so
he said they weren't
that was-
heroes.
That was about that was about Joe Biden, wasn't it?
No.
Nope.
Shit, it was about somebody, dude, and he got shot down.
It's about John McCain.
Yeah. He got shot down, and the Japs got a hold of him. And then John McCain was one of those guys that gave off all kind of information, and he was the one. He was one of the American guys that was talking
didn't give off
shit
any
about
information.
America.
No, he didn't give off any information. That's
Yes,
a
he
lie.
did.
We're not gonna
Yes,
do
he
that.
did. And he was one of the guys that they would put on the radio as a propaganda thing in Japan. Listen, Donald Trump would say a lot of fucked up shit, and it
Are
would
you
be
going to
like,
provide some
what the fuck?
sources for that? You going to provide some sources for that? You
Listen,
just won't
listen.
say that.
And
That's
it would
Trump's
be
problem.
people would say, "What the fuck?" And then the full story would come out, and people would say, "Oh, okay, now I kind of understand." Now, is he the greatest spokesman on earth? I love all the shit he says because I agree with it. But is he the greatest spokesman that has ever lived? No. Is he the greatest?
Brent, real quick, you said you agree with all of it, so you grab women by the vagina and kiss them in the mouth without their consent?
Listen, I have to
say
be
that.
careful. I have to be careful, especially now, as to what I say. All right, so we'll just say that. But I see eye to eye with most everything Donald Trump has to say. Yes.
Wait, so when he said that he wouldn't have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll because she's quote unquote not his type, did you agree with that?
I thought that he
You think
was.
that's okay?
I thought that he was giving a punch back for a punch that he had received.
Okay, so you think that it was okay for him to do that, even though in a deposition he mistook E. Jean Carroll, the person he was held liable for sexually abusing, for his ex-wife. So
Which
she
he-
looks similar enough to his ex-wife that he's going to mistake the two, but she's also quote unquote not his type.
Which he was found innocent for. Which he was found.
He was not. He was held liable by a jury of his peers.
And the judge quite literally said that he was liable, that he raped
That he-
Eugene Carroll. The
that
judge
he was
said he
liable,
raped
right?
Eugene Carroll.
But that just means that he accepted to pay her money to go the fuck away.
No, that's not what that means.
Ariel, which one are you referencing? I didn't hear what you're talking about.
So listen, I've got to go to a class, but I mainly hopped in because I hadn't seen you in a while and I wanted to say what's up. But yes, I will be voting for Donald Trump
Choose the bear.
because
Choose the bear.
the bear.
Choose the bear.
What bear?
Yep. Absolutely choose the bear.
The bear.
Mm-hmm.
You have to explain that one.
In this scenario, you're definitely going to choose the bear. No, we're good. We don't need to explain it. Just
Yeah.
choose the bear. Just know that.
Anyway, it was good to see you. And yes, I will be voting for Donald Trump because he's like the best president that's ever been the president of the United States. And you don't always go for the guy that you agree
The best
with.
president that's ever been president of the United States. So you think that Donald Trump was a better president than Barack Obama?
Yes, 100.
Yes, by far.
100.
Yes.
1,000,000 times.
And why so?
You asked him about if a black man was better. Like, Parker, did you really just ask him if a black president was better
Listen.
than Donald
Yeah, I mean, I
Trump?
would have expected that from him.
I used to get angry.
We'll ask him
Like,
this:
I used
is
to
Donald
get
Trump
so-
better than George Washington?
Okay, so George Washington is the
Erica,
best.
thank you for the $1.
George
So George Washington is there's the whole extra spiel we could go on about that, right? But wait, did you use a slur referring to Japanese people?
Did I use a slur referring to Japanese people? No.
No.
Absolutely did. He
I did.
1,000% did.
Okay, I didn't hear this. That's crazy. That's
I
crazy.
think I shorthanded, but it wasn't like a slur. It wasn't a slur. It was a shorthand. But
Well, I think everyone in the comment section's unequivocally saying you did. So
well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I got to go anyway. But anyway, it's good
I think
to see
it
you,
does
man.
matter. But
Well, listen, everybody gets so fucking bunched up in their panties and feelings and shit. They will find shit Especially since I'm saying I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Wait, no, but if there's a slur, you shouldn't be saying slurs, right?
I didn't say a slur. I
No,
shorthanded.
wait, but if
definitely.
maybe you didn't know what the slur was, right, and you accidentally said a slur, right? You still would say that you shouldn't say slurs, right?
It's I don't know. I use them pretty regularly, and they're used pretty
Oh
regularly.
my God, why
And I don't
do
give
you
a
why do you
shit.
think it's okay to use slurs?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not. Well, I was about to say another slur. All right, y'all have a
What
good
the
one.
fuck
though,
is
all right?
wrong with this guy?
I mean, it depends on the slur and the time.
Oh my God, oh Andrew, what do you mean it depends on it?
If you okay, so if you're so if you
What
if
does it
you're
depend on?
Asian, if you're Asian, you're allowed to make fun of other Asians.
Okay, I'm not saying that
But I
people a
won't
part
be
of
allowed
communities
to.
can't use slurs, right? I don't
What?
like.
Well, that makes sense. Anyway, Trump doesn't have a racist bone in his body.
So is that why he was found liable for housing discrimination not once but twice?
How did this happen?
Because he refused to rent to black tenants. He would have his employees write C on the top for colored, and then they wouldn't call those people back to rent apartments to. And he was found guilty twice by the federal government under Nixon. No.
That's not why he wasn't letting them live there.
Yes, it was.
They were doing like bad stuff.
No, they weren't even
why.
there, so they couldn't have been doing bad stuff because they never rented to them.
Because he didn't trust them in the first place because they weren't not.
Because they were black.
Not because they were black. It's just, even if they were white, it was just the people they were.
Wait, no, he would tell white families there were openings.
And he would tell black families there were no openings. They investigated him. Nixon's government investigated him, found him guilty. Twice.
Those people are crazy.
Who were crazy?
The people that wanted to live there.
How do you know that? Were you there?
No, but I was watching like videos and stuff, and
What videos? Was there was no closed circuit cameras or nothing like that in the 70s, buddy? What are you talking about?
no, I'm not saying that. Like other people talk about, we're talking about those. They wanted to do like messed up stuff in the house.
How would you know that?
Because that's why Trump didn't want them to live there.
He didn't. So why did he have him write C on top of
Yeah,
that?
that's exactly what I was saying. Is like that's the characteristic that he thought was going to be like bad. That's literally you're just justifying that it was racism.
It wasn't racism. Like even if I wouldn't, if I was a landlord, right? If I was a landlord and these people were gonna move into the house I owned and destroy the house, no matter what color their skin is.
Wait, why were they going to destroy the house? What was the indicator that they used?
Was the indicator? I actually don't remember. I'm pretty sure.
Mr. Jones just told
C
you.
for colored.
I don't think I had anything. I think it was the area they grew up in.
Yeehaw! What did the C
Did you
stand-
hear him?
Yeah, what did the C stand for?
I don't think there was a C. I think it was like a decoration. I don't think it was actually a C that was there.
Okay, so moving forward from there, he was found liable for job discrimination in Trump casinos.
No, I think it depends on the position.
He would take all of the black dealers off the floor when high rollers came into the building.
Is there evidence? There's no
Yes, he
evidence.
was found liable in court for job discrimination.
Daddy, is this your
All right, they all do that. It's messed up, but
Who all does that?
a lot of people that own casinos do that.
Well, that's not true at all.
And that's bad, right? If that were to
That is
happen, let's
messed
say
up.
that is true. Like that's terrible.
It's messed up.
So then you say
Because-
there's no racist bone in his body, but he is a huge history of racist behavior.
Biden lied about having to grow up in a black church, and there's a hilarious video of Biden
What
in
about
a black church
Biden?
having no idea what's going
What
on.
about Biden? But what about Biden though? Hey, can we talk about what we're talking about? We said, why will you vote for Trump? Nobody's talking about Biden. Like quite literally, nobody's talking about Biden. So can you address the allegations and the findings, the court findings?
Okay, let
Of
me ask
Donald
you a
Trump.
question. Let me ask you a question.
Sure, I'd be happy to answer it.
Do you really like Biden, or do you just really hate Trump?
I personally don't like Biden, but I certainly don't want a fascist dictator running the country, or a wannabe fascist dictator.
Okay, at least you're honest. It's honesty.
Yeah, but you're not being honest. So one of us is being honest.
Okay, the second Biden got in, the Russia-Ukraine war happened. This wouldn't have happened under Trump.
Give me any reason to believe that.
He was close to Putin.
Okay, wait. So give me any reason to believe that because he's close with Putin. I appreciate the hanging lights. Thank you so much. So do you think he's colluding with Putin then?
What do you mean?
You said he's really close with Putin, insofar as this war would have not happened. I appreciate the
He
paper
made,
grain.
he
Thank you
made
so
a
much.
deal. He made a deal with Putin, so Putin wouldn't do that. Because honestly, I think Putin's crazy.
What was the deal?
I don't know what the deal was. I just know that
He made a deal, but I don't know what the deal is.
He made peace. He made peace with Putin.
Where and when?
Remember, and same thing like Kim Jong Un.
Wait, when did he do this? When did he make peace with Putin?
You can look it up.
There was a
online.
Russian-backed.
Sorry, I had to switch.
Yeah, you're good. There was a Russian-backed and U.S.-backed proxy war in Syria during Trump's administration. Thank you for the galaxy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. So how the hell did they have like this peace agreement, right? But then they were also engaging in a proxy war.
Also, you know what I'm saying? Like Russia was actively engaged in the Donbass region of Ukraine. They annexed Crimea in 2014 and then stayed actively engaged in the Donbass the entire time that Trump was in office. As a matter of fact, Congress and the American people had to force Donald Trump to sanction Russia.
No. Maybe, but he was a peacemaker, Trump, because he would negotiate with these leaders. Because he's right, we're one madman away from a nuclear war. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, and that man
Trump is the
Donald Trump.
madman. Trump is the madman.
No, the madman's Kim Jong Un, Putin, these people, Trump. Like
Kim Jong Un does not have that weapon technology. What are you talking
like
about?
what?
China does. We're getting close to. They're all together, and they don't like.
Thank you for the
liberal-
gifts.
Again, Putin doesn't like Biden. He doesn't like liberal lifestyles.
I'm pretty sure he said that Biden's preferable to Trump.
Yeah, he did say that.
No, there's no way you would
Appreciate
say
the green.
that.
Thank you so
He
much. You
literally
want to
said
bet?
it in a speech.
Putin had a whole speech about how America's disgraceful to every religious book, and like
What, I mean, that's probably true. I don't know. What's your point? Like, yeah, we literally
Nice.
abuse every religion across the globe. So I mean, I
Yes.
could see why he would say something like that.
Putin was a religious man, so that's why he didn't like Biden.
Biden is a religious man. He's a
That
devout
is
Yeah,
Catholic.
that's
as false of a
They're both
statement as you can
they're both
get.
Catholic.
He's actually literally more religious than Trump is. Like Trump is like religious because he wants your vote. like let's be real here. He
No.
tear gassed people to do a photo op with the Bible. Like
There was a
he cheated
church-
on his wife multiple times. He was proven to have sexually abused a woman. Defamation. He constantly lies. Right. This is very Christian behavior of him. Right.
Dude,
He paid for multiple abortions.
the other day, a church got shot up, and Joe Biden comes down, and he's like, chocolate chip ice cream. Oh, an ice cream. I heard there was ice cream.
That wasn't the other day, and that's not what happened at
It was a
all.
while ago. It was
And
a
that's
while
not what happened at all. Like if you're going to, you know what I'm saying, like level, allegations against him, at least know what you're talking about and when it happened. So I'm going to ask you the same thing that I asked the homeboy that was on here before. If like you had a friend, right, in college, I know you went to a Christian school, and one of your friends was telling you about how he goes to parties and grabs women by the vagina and kisses them in the mouth without their consent. Would you think that friend was a good person?
No, but we also don't have evidence of Trump.
Great.
doing it.
No, we do. We have tons of evidence. That's why he was found liable. Because in order for you to be found liable for something, evidence has to be presented to a jury. That's how this works.
He's liable by people that don't like him. People hate him so much they'll go
Here,
to.
why don't we just watch the video where he said he does these things?
Well, why is it always? Why can the Matrix always comes out with sex charges too? Like Andrew Tate, Same
Maybe
thing.
I don't know. Maybe they should
All
stop.
sex
Maybe these red pill, you know what I'm saying, shit bags should stop essaying women, and then they won't have to worry about the charges. I mean, that would be my guess.
No, because it's the easiest thing to throw someone at, throw a charge at.
Is it? So you're saying that women just lie?
If I wanted to put someone in jail, I'd get a girl.
Is that what you're
No,
insinuating? Are you
money.
saying that women just lie?
They get paid money too.
Paid
Yes.
money to lie by whom?
Can you give me any evidence that this happened with E. Jean Carroll?
Yeah.
Oh, love to see it.
Yeah, me too. I'd also like to play the video. You want to watch the
Go
video?
for it.
Let's watch the video.
Like a bitch. I couldn't get there, and she was married. Just I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by.
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years,
Million
it's been
years.
largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Saying "or" fortunately is so crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, so quite literally, that was the deposition from the E. Jean Carroll trial. That was the deposition. That's why he was found liable for doing it, because he says that he absolutely does grab women by the vagina and kiss them in the mouth without their consent because he's a star.
No.
That's literally him saying it. So what say you now?
I doubt that. Eugene Carroll, they're probably paying them, or they're
Did they pay Trump to tell on himself?
They take small clips out of huge.
No, that's not a small clip. That's the deposition. I played the whole thing for you.
Probably AI for all I know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so you would think that this video is AI too? Him saying that he dated 10-year-old in 10 years?
But you say what? What did he say?
He said he would date a 10-year-old in 10 years?
Trump said that.
No, it's not AI because bro said over the last million years.
Yeah, over the last. That's so crazy, bro.
Yes, you know it's not AI because only he would say something so ridiculous. Well, like the planes. What did the planes during the Civil War? bombing the airways during the Civil War.
So unbelievable. All right, here, you want to hear this video, man?
1992 from Entertainment Tonight, which is owned by CBS Television. In it, Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl. Let's listen to that.
Soon. Thursday night. You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
And if you say it's AI, this is videos from 1992.
You're making a joke.
Oh, you think those? Oh wait, so
It's
you think
funny
that's
to
okay
joke with 10-year-old girls.
If Biden did that, you'll be
Oh
like,
my
ha,
God!
ha, ha,
What about Biden? What about Biden? Bro, we're not talking about Biden. Biden didn't do it. We're talking about Trump. Can you address Trump?
You're just making a joke.
And you think that's an okay joke to make? Do you have parents? Do you have sisters?
Well, everyone has different humor.
Hey, do you have sisters?
I have one little sister.
Okay, what if Trump said this about your little sister when she was 10 years old? Would you be okay with that?
I'd be weirded out, but I mean,
Would you still vote for him?
Yeah. I'd be weirded out, but like,
So if your friends joke around with your little sister and make perverted jokes about your little sister, you let them do it?
my friends is a different story.
Why? They're not running for president of the most powerful
Exactly.
nation on earth.
Exactly.
Yeah, so then they should be like he should be held to a higher standard. No. Thank you for the corgi butts.
Yeah, he's older. It's different humor.
So he should be held to a higher standard because he's running for president, right?
and you have to also hear all the good things he says.
Name one.
The good things he says. I can't because you guys think that it's bad things.
I'm going to. Yeah, no, name one, bro. It shouldn't be that hard to name one. I can name 40 things that he said that are bad. Can you name one that he said is good?
We're gonna make this country great again.
When was the country great before?
Too long ago to remember. Before Biden got it.
No. Give me a time. Give me a time where there was equitable outcomes for all citizens, where it was great for everybody involved.
2018, 2019.
Wait, no, but Trump said "Make America Great Again" before his presidency. So when was it great before that?
Yeah, so during yeah, I was about to say, like, when was it great before
I was like,
that? Because
right when Trump
was
became
elected
president,
in 2016.
It went from being really bad to when Trump became president to being great to right when he left, right, being bad again.
I mean, Obama wasn't the best. Obama ruined the country.
Obama literally dug us out of the worst recession since the Great Depression. He bailed out the housing industry. He bailed out the banking industry. He bailed out the automotive industry, which paid us back with interest, might I add. Like, he got the ACA passed, and had it not been for Republican interference, probably would have been the most productive legislation passed in American history. So when you're talking about Barack Obama, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just saying it because you don't like brown people, not because he wasn't actually a phenomenal president.
No, I do like brown people.
So name a bad policy of Barack Obama's. And don't say the border, because he quite literally was called the deporter in chief. He deported more people than he ever allowed in. As a matter of fact, when he left, we had a net negative immigration. And guess who had more people come into the United States than the two previous presidents before him? Donald Jimothy Trump.
Trump's a great guy.
But he didn't care about the border when he was in office.
I was
'Cause
also
he just
like-
let them flood right in.
I was too young. I was actually like really little. Like, no one cared when I was this young. It wasn't
You're still really little. At least that's what she said.
Well, maybe the playing field was just too big. Maybe the playing field was just too big.
Likely excuse. I've never said anything like that in my life. That's crazy.
That's what you do if a girl calls you small. Just say your field is big.
What? I bet you had to think about that one.
Bear. Choose the
Yeah,
bear.
please, please.
Yeah, you know that's not how a vagina works, right?
Doesn't matter.
What? Can you tell me where the vulva is?
Inside, it's fucking part of the vagina that does something. I don't fucking remember. I took anatomy, all right?
I don't think you're qualified to vote. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think you're qualified to vote.
Oh,
I
but
don't
Joe
think
Biden's qualified to run.
absolutely. He's
More
he's
than
been-
you.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been in politics for numerous decades. He's passed some of the most comprehensive legislation, you know what I'm saying, in modern history. Yeah, so I would say yes. Answer would be yes.
Oh no, guys. Well, I gotta get going now. It was great talking. We'll finish just one day.
All right, Pee Wee. You have a good one.
Oh my gosh, that's so brutal. Harley, thank you for the money, guy, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Meantime, everyone, tap that screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
23.
Are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes.
And why is that?
I just feel like the country was better under Trump, and a lot of these cases that he has against him, they're very political, like the New York one he has. I mean, he paid off a lawyer to deal with a legal case, a legal expense, and then now he's getting like 34 counts of falsifying business records. Just a lot of these things seem political that's going on with him. And yeah, it just seems like the
Have I
government
talked to you before?
after him. Yeah, I think not on the I think on like a religion thing like a month ago. I got banned for like 10 days.
I swear I've talked to you all about Trump.
We might have, I mean, maybe like 2 months. It was like a while ago. It wasn't like soon though. Yeah.
Okay, if there's something new you want to bring up, you can do that, but I typically talk to new people.
Yeah, I mean, basically for me, I mean, where I'm at, it's just, I just think the country was better off under Trump. And
Yeah, but that's
there's
a correlation causation fallacy, though. Just because it was associated with each other doesn't mean that one caused the other.
Well, I mean, you look at it. I mean, he defeated ISIS. He would say crazy things about foreign policy. Like if someone said a statement like right now, like if Trump was in charge.
That's just another correlation. Like defeating ISIS could have happened under Hillary Clinton presidency as well.
I mean, it didn't. I mean, it didn't happen under Obama. It didn't.
Wait, Hillary Clinton wasn't president. That's why.
No, I'm saying under Obama it didn't happen, and
Wait,
under
that doesn't
Biden,
mean it wouldn't have happened if he wasn't president continuing to the next years, but he couldn't
well,
have
then
because he only had
isn't
the
that a
2
correlation
terms.
that you're making too? I mean, that maybe Hillary.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is he could have, right? What you're making the argument is that this only would have happened with Trump. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I think basically with him, because he wasn't a politician, right? Like, he wouldn't speak like a politician would. So, like, right now around the world stage, everyone knows Biden, traditional politicians, they're politicians. So they're kind of going to follow the rules. They're not going to do anything crazy. The thing with Trump is he was unpredictable. You know, no one knew what he was going to do.
Do you think unpredictable is a good quality for the leader?
Absolutely. To
Somebody who
fear.
has the nuclear codes?
Well, I mean, we didn't have any new wars started under Trump. I mean, we had.
Well, we still had
Iran was
wars.
in-
We still had
Well,
wars.
I never heard
Can you
about
tell me? Can you tell me the war that that Obama started?
Obama, I mean, we had issues in Russia and Crimea, the growth of ISIS. I mean,
Yeah.
ISIS
So
went
so
from a little-
Crimea happened in 2014. Why didn't Trump stop it? Why didn't he stop the conflict in the Donbass region?
he wasn't president when the Crimea
Yes.
thing happened.
Why didn't he stop the conflict in the Donbass region?
That was between Russian separatists and.
Why didn't he stop
people.
Why didn't he stop the conflict
Because
in the
it was
Donbass
Russian-
region?
It was Russian separatists.
That's not true.
It wasn't the nation of Russia. It's
we
100%
literally
true.
no, it's not. We literally know that for a fact that it was Putin who sent those people in there. For a fact, we know this.
It was Russian operatives. It was like their FSB. It
Yes,
was like their
yes.
CIA.
Who do you think
It wasn't-
they're at the directive of? Who do you think these Russian operatives are
We
at the
didn't
directive
have-
of?
Okay, we didn't have a full-out war in Ukraine though, because
Okay,
if
why
Donald
didn't
Trump
why
was
didn't he pull
president,
out?
that would not
Why
have
did?
happened.
Okay, so but it did happen. It was happening. Why didn't he stop it?
We didn't have a.
They wouldn't. They literally wouldn't have gotten to Ukraine.
Donald
Like
Trump.
there wouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have had the ability to go to Ukraine had the conflict in the Donbass region been stopped. So why didn't he stop it?
The conflict in the Donbass. Okay, that was not the official Russian military. It was Russian separatists who were
At the
backed by
directive
Russia.
of Putin.
Yes, but it wasn't the official Russian military. We have CIA operatives all
Bro,
around
you're
the world.
coping so hard right now.
How am I coping?
Why didn't he
I'm
stop
stating
it?
A factual statement.
Why didn't he stop it? Just answer the question.
You're talking. Wait, this conflict that was Russian separatists because
I don't care who it was. Why didn't he stop it?
He didn't send. Okay, usually on a world stage, you don't send your official forces against another country.
Why did he have to send forces? Man, I thought he could just talk to him. So when Trump gets in office, we're going to send United States military personnel into Ukraine? Is that what you're telling me?
President, this war will end very quickly.
How is he going to do that?
You tell Putin that you are not going to take Ukraine. We are not going to allow you to do it. And you tell Ukraine, look, I mean, the thing is, this war already happened.
Trump said that Ukraine can't win and that they should let him take it.
That's also what Biden did recently. They said if they get past a particular point that they're going to send American troops. Right? American troops and
we can't
the
let
rest
that
of our
happen.
allies.
Look, realistically, there has to be some deal. Look, Russia went in. They lost a lot. Do I like Russia? No. Okay? They're not good. But the fact of the matter is they need something out of this deal. They need some bit of land on the corner side that they've been fighting over for years. Okay? It needs to happen to end the war because we can't keep spending tens of billions of dollars to prop up Ukraine in a war that long term they won't be able to win because they simply do not have enough people to do it. If Russia keeps attacking, they're eventually going to win because they have 4 times the population. They're going to win eventually.
So he's going to keep conscripting, you know what I'm saying, people into the military. Putin is just going to keep conscripting people into the military.
He's going to he'll keep pushing them through. I mean, he's the butcher. It's like, you know, I mean, you saw the Soviet Union, how they just, you know, I mean, 26 million of their people died in World War II.
Most of those people died in the war, though, like in the war.
Yeah, fighting. Yeah, no, I'm just saying we have to end this as quick as possible, right?
So Trump is just going to tell Putin what to do, and Putin's going to stop. Putin's going to be like, okay, no problem.
I think because of Trump's unpredictability, he throws people off. Like, let me give you. An
What
example.
do you think Trump's going to do? I don't think that he's worried about unpredictability. Is he going to launch a nuclear weapon?
No, he's not going to launch a nuclear weapon.
Okay, so I'm asking, what is he going to do?
A specific thing. Do I know what he's going to do? No. Okay. Do I assume? Like, let me give you an unpredictable example, right? Like, if some president said, they're saying, okay, let's give weapons to some country, right? Let's say it's with Israel or whatever, and the president says, well, we have an $800 billion defense budget, why don't we try some of this stuff out? That's a crazy statement. That scares people. That frightens people. But at the same time, it throws people off. It throws off Hamas. It throws off Iran. It throws off all these hostile actors when a president says something crazy like that. It's like, oh, we spent all this money on defense. Why don't we try some of this stuff out? That scares people, and it keeps people in line.
So you're saying if Trump just cut the entire military budget, that could scare people?
He's not going to cut the military budget. Well, honestly,
Wait, Trump could just start spending all of the U.S. federal budget on military. That could scare people.
Well, that would never get allowed.
So again, just because someone's unpredictable doesn't mean it's a good characteristic. It could be unpredictably bad.
Well, anything can be unpredictably bad. I just know what's going on now with Biden, right? We have on college campuses, now most of the Palestine supporters, they're not Hamas supporters, but there are people that are here on student visas that fundamentally hate America. They hate the country. And I think that's ridiculous, right? You can be pro-Palestine, and want kids to survive, but at the same time, there's people that saying October 7th was a great strike. It was a great day. And I don't think Biden's tough enough on them.
Great. So when Israel attacked Palestine while Trump was in office with several missile strikes, why didn't he stop them? Why didn't he stop that war then? Why did he, in fact, on the anniversary of the Nakba, move, the embassy to Jerusalem? Why did he do that? Further elevating conflict in the region.
That was a decision he made to move it to Jerusalem. Israel wanted their embassy in Jerusalem for a long time.
Gotcha. So he made things worse there.
Well, we didn't have all this crazy stuff happening with Trump.
Because Trump escalated these situations. If he was such a great peacemaker, right, he would have stopped. He would have had this conversation with Russia, stopped them prior to invading Ukraine. He would have stopped Israel prior to, them attacking a defenseless, group of people in the Palestinians.
But a lot of those things were retaliatory. When Israel would re-attack Palestine, they got rockets.
No, sir. No, sir.
Hamas hit them with rockets. They didn't just attack them for no reason.
No, sir.
So you're telling me Israel just woke up one day and said, let's just attack Palestine for the hell of it?
They've been constantly attacking the Palestinians. The IDF quite literally shooting, Palestinians from the wall. This has been going on for decades. This isn't new. This has been going on. So if you keep on, do you know the average age of a Palestinian?
The average, I don't know what the life expectancy is.
The average age, $4.20.
Average age is under 18 years. Is under 18 years old. So the vast majority of the Palestinian people were children to begin with, right? And so quite literally, if you're blocking them from having their own access to water, from having accessing their own ports, having an airport, having colleges, things of that nature, then how could you possibly, you have these people in an open air prison. You leave these people in an open air prison long enough, you think they're not going to fight back? They're not going to say enough is enough? We're tired of being in this prison?
There is wrong on both sides. Okay.
Oh my Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
saying Israel.
Thank you, Donald Trump. The fascists are okay, and then the people that are, oppressed by fascism, they're okay too. There's good people on both sides.
What do you mean, the Charlottesville thing?
Yeah.
That thing was such a media hoax. He wasn't talking about the Ku Klux Klan, and he wasn't saying they're great people. He was talking with
those aren't the fascists I was talking about this time, though.
When he said the good people on both sides, he was mentioning the people who saw the monuments as bad, that they were the Confederate monuments were a symbol of slavery and these monuments needed to be taken down. Those are good people. He's talking about them, and the people who see these monuments as pieces of historical history, and it sets a dangerous precedent taking them down. Those are the good people on both sides. He wasn't talking about the Ku Klux Klan and Antifa. He was talking about the peaceful, good people who had strong opinions on the statue who were peaceful. He wasn't saying the Ku Klux Klan, good people. He never said that. And the media took it way out of, that was never said. And this has been one of the big Trump hoaxes about his whole
Sure. You act like that's the only thing that he's ever said that's bad.
Well,
stand back and stand by when talking about the Proud Boys. Come on, bro.
Well, I think that first debate, that's what lost him the election, honestly. That first debate with Biden, because he was way too hot, way too out of control. And I think that's what lost him the election, honestly, that first debate.
But he was a racist before he ever got elected. What do you think was behind the birther movement?
Well, he did that.
Darrow, thank you for the $7 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Darrow.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think the motivation was behind the birther movement, friend?
He pushed a conspiracy theory. Yeah, so
based on Barack Obama's race. Based on Barack Obama's race.
He pushed a conspiracy theory
based on Barack Obama's race.
About
he retweets
citizenship.
He retweets things from white nationalist groups.
Well,
he hung out with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, he hung out with a known, you know what I'm saying, Christian nationalist.
Okay, well, he got set up with that. That was Kanye.
No, not even set up. The Secret Service would literally look at people before they come in. You can't see he got set up. Come on. The Secret Service vets everyone he talks to.
They vet them, but maybe Trump didn't know who he was.
Wait,
you think Trump doesn't know who he was? They would have told. Plus, they would have told him. You think his PR people don't know? You know what I'm saying? Everybody he's going to be talking to, like, bro, you're bending yourself in pretzels to defend somebody who is obviously racist.
There's mistakes that are made. Okay, do I think Trump is a cold-hearted racist and he wants to see black people oppressed? No, I don't. Because he passed the First Step Act.
Thank you for the money gun. The First Step Act predominantly helped white individuals.
It helped a lot of black individuals.
But it predominantly helped white individuals because they are given a set of the judges. No, it didn't though. The judges are given a set. Can I finish though? Do you mind I finish?
Sure, go ahead.
The judges are given a set of guidelines, the same way that they're given a set of guidelines when they conduct sentencing hearings. These set of guidelines tell the judge what they can and can't do. If this judge already has racial bias, right, then the same guidelines that put them in prison are the same guidelines by which they're not going to get out of prison. The First Step Act didn't help the people that it was intended to help, or that he touted it was going to help.
I'm not saying there's not racial
thank you for the $5 on Cash App. Thank you,
criminal justice system. There's a lot of issues in this country. There has been historic discrimination against minorities in America. That's a fact. I don't think.
Do you think Trump makes that better or worse?
I think he honestly will make it better his second term, and I think he tried to.
So why didn't? Oh, did he? So let me ask you a question. When you go to when you go to a Trump rally, why do you see so many Confederate flags? Why do you see? Why do you see?
And I'll tell you,
why do you see Nazis? Why do you see
Confederate flag or Nazi flag at a Trump rally? I've been to two of them. I haven't seen one.
That's fine. Can I get the screen for a second, Parker?
In the meantime, everyone tap that screen. Let's rate to 500,000 likes as well. Everyone,
I'm just saying, there's this myth that the whole Republican Party. Okay, I don't know. Is that a Trump rally? I need to see the whole context. I'm saying, I went to Trump rallies. I didn't see one Nazi flag or one.
Quite literally, they sell them at Trump rallies. This was right outside. This picture is right outside of Disney. This picture is right outside of Disney, by the way.
Okay, I'm not saying I condone every person that claims to be a Trump supporter is a good person, right?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You don't think it doesn't raise any red flags for you that you happen to be on the same side as the Yahtzees? Like you're voting for the same person that the Yahtzees and the Triple K are voting for? That doesn't like ring any bells? Like sound off any alarms? Nothing, none of that?
Trump's policies do not support any of those groups. Okay.
Yes, they do.
There are. Well, name one. What?
Okay.
What?
Gotcha. I will. Okay, so let me tell you how Schittler did it. Right. Let me tell you how Schittler did it. Schittler first went after disabled people. Like that was the first people that he went after. We've seen Trump actively go after disabled people. Right. The second people that he went after were the unhoused and the sickly. Right. And Trump's policy in Agenda 47 is to quite literally put the unhoused in internment camps. He said that he will give them the option to go to tent cities, obscure tent cities, or go to jail. So that's number two.
He's talking about drug addicts that can't take care of themselves, right?
All unhoused people are have substance abuse disorder. I mean, substance disorders. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I mean, are you saying if someone can't take care of themselves and is sitting in a tent?
No, I said unhoused people. You said drug. I said unhoused people. You said drug addicts.
Well, he's not saying every person who's struggling with homelessness is going to get put in a tent.
No, that's exactly what he said. That they will literally have to go. Have you watched the videos from Agenda 47?
I've watched them, and I can.
Okay, great. So he quite literally said that they will have to go to these tent cities, right, in order to accept services, or they will go to jail.
And it also says he's going to have job creation programs and homeless outreach programs to get people that want help the help that they need. Okay, there are people who are homeless right now who they fell on hard times. They need some help. They need some job training. They might need some help with addiction. Okay, there are some people who just want to stay shooting up drugs outside of elementary schools. And you know what? I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. Okay, people who do not want to help or contribute in society, that's fine. You don't have to, okay? But don't think you're going to shoot up drugs right outside of our houses, on our lawns, outside our schools. You know, in the Ninth Circuit, where California is, homeless people are allowed to put up a tent on your private property. Do you know that?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
100% true.
All right, let's look it up.
Look, please do.
Anyways, the next group of individuals he went after was the while I'm looking that up. Were the LGBTQIA plus community, and we see the Republican Party effectively doing that. And then lastly, after he did, all of those other things, then it was Jewish people. Jewish people, essentially the last people that he went after.
How can you go out against Jewish people? I never saw
Adrian, thank you so much for the $20 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Adrian in the chat.
I didn't say him specifically, but you don't remember Marjorie Taylor Greene's explanation for why there's wildfires?
Well, she said some crazy things in her career, right? I'm not going to say the most far-right person is, has always said the right thing, but I mean, are you going to tell me the most far-left politician has always said
name a horrendous or horrible action from somebody who you consider far-left? Just give me one.
Well, I can tell you, for instance, Madonna said, I've thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House. You saw Snoop Dogg.
Who said that?
Madonna.
I'm talking about politicians, friend. I'm talking about people that are legislators.
Maxine
You're talking
Waters.
about...
I'll give you Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters. She was saying, if you see anybody from that cabinet at a department store, at a gasoline station, at a restaurant, you go out and you form a crowd and you tell them they're not welcome.
Yeah.
You have Cory Booker saying...
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That's not outlandish. That's not hurting anybody. What do you mean?
You're telling me a crazy person isn't going to hear that and say, maybe I could be a little violent? I mean, okay.
Oh, you mean like January 6th?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Bro, Chase, you got to be joking right now. Now, I bet you he's about to
Or what
start...
about the injecting of bleach, right? Like, I mean, like, you...
That was a fit. That's just a...
No, it's not. No, it's not. He actually literally said to do that.
We played the video last time, didn't we, Parker?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Play the video. I need the full...
All right.
Okay, I'll play the video.
Yeah, and while we wait for this, the new person you just joined in, how old are you?
W. Adrian, thank you for the $20 Cash App.
How old are you?
25. 1998 was when I was born.
For sure. And are you going to vote for Trump in 2024?
Yes, and I did vote for him in 2016 when I was 18 because I switched at 13 from Democrat to Libertarian because the Democratic Party...
Actually, I'll just ask you, like, why are you going to vote for Trump now?
Okay, but I'm trying to explain my party progression before, because then I'll help you understand my perspective. I switched from Democrat to Libertarian in 2012, and then because Trump wasn't a typical Republican, he wasn't doing what typical Republicans do, which is pander to the media and the Democrat Party.
So why are you voting for Trump now?
Why I'm voting for Trump is that we've seen what he's done in one presidency. He's shown, let's use January 6th as an example, because I know you'll do that. For January 6th specifically, he actually, before that day, he gave the power to Pelosi. Yes, it is the presidency, but it would have been used as a coup if he used the National Guard. That's what the media would have said, and they try to force that. So let me ask to you, do you condemn January 6th? And if you do, then you should condemn Pelosi for wanting an event to happen because of how they pre-planned it.
I don't have an issue with condemning Pelosi. Now, can you give me an actual reason why you're going to vote for Trump instead of just like specifically like changing right the conditions of things and bringing up random politicians that I haven't supported?
No, I'm specifying because you did specify January 6th earlier, so I was trying to. So, I'll give you an exact reason with Trump's tax cut, which expires in 2025. I can show you the exact quote that the Biden administration has said that they want to increase taxes for people and screw over the American people, which screws over the lower.
Wait, increase taxes for who?
For most of Americans.
No, not most of Americans. For the
You want
rich.
me to show you what contingency Jean-Pierre
Yeah, tell me the tax
said?
policy because I can actually show you tax policy from Donald Trump where it decreased after-tax income for the lowest quintile and for the middle class and increased it for the top 1%, top 0.1%, and the highest quintile. So he quite literally took money from the middle class and from the lowest quintile and gave it to rich people.
Then why was the economy better under Trump than it was
Wait, we're
under
currently
Obama?
still under Trump tax policy, 1. 2, the economy being better at that particular time period does not mean it was caused by Trump. Give me any reason that was caused by Trump.
Yeah, I have this exact. I'm gonna show you this video from Korean Jean-Pierre from a couple days ago. I want you to listen. I have it as loud as I can on my computer.
For who? From who?
The secretary speaker currently.
I have the other video for
Yes,
the
let me show you.
Okay.
I'll-
I was talking to Parker. I have the other video.
Yeah, Mr. Jones can go first while you look for your video.
No, I found it.
Okay, well, I mean, he found the video first, so.
Okay.
Totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds
As opposed to like a veterinarian or something, I guess.
That's
I don't know.
that's the bleach comment.
Yeah, he said injecting disinfectant into somebody's body.
He was saying, did you not hear it? He was literally talking to the doctor, saying if there's a way we could potentially inject something
disinfectant
like
into somebody's body.
No. He didn't tell a person, hey, go in your house, find some bleach. and
That's
shoot it in
not
your
the
arm."
point. People still
He
did it.
literally said to the doctor, if there's a way we could do something like with the bleach.
Yeah, and that's still crazy to believe that we could put disinfectant injected into people's bodies and it would do well.
Right.
If the,
Come
yeah,
on.
okay, he
There
wasn't
is
telling,
that-
okay, that's the thing. That's another example of a statement taken way out of context.
No,
it's not taken out of context.
He didn't tell you, hey Parker, put bleach in your arm and you'll cure COVID. He was talking to a doctor.
Wait.
saying
We
maybe
could have said the
here's
same thing
something
about
like
Biden,
this,
right? Like
this.
you understand that they didn't say these things directly, but you said, "Oh, you should have known because someone dumb could have heard this," and like I don't know what your argument.
Look, everything like Biden. I mean, things get taken out of context with Biden. I'm not saying that. I mean, I remember that one with that speech. They said he turned to the crowd and no one, like he went to shake someone's hand and no one was there, but all he was doing was turning to the crowd. And they said like, oh, he
Oh, he's
thought
cutting
he was
out.
shaking someone's hand. And like,
Mark,
it was-
thank you
it
for
was
the
BS, but I mean, that's
$5.
how
Thank you
politics
so
is.
much, Mark.
They'll say. Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, you're good. Don't worry.
But people
Well, yeah, I mean,
actually
like, that's
did
what-
inject disinfectant, friend. Like the calls to the what is it called? What's the hotline called?
Okay.
The poison control
someone-
hotline. Calls to the poison control hotline spiked over the next like three to 5 days. Because
Okay, if
people were
someone
trying it.
listened to that and said, "Man, I should inject bleach in my arm," okay,
Those are
they're
his
obviously
voters.
Not listening to the whole context. He didn't
Those are
tell
his
him to inject
voters.
bleach in their arm. He
Those
did
are
not
people we let vote, by the
specifically
way.
Yeah, those are voters. Those are the people that you're voting alongside, friend.
Okay, and you're voting alongside the people that think October 7th was a great day. I mean, there's people in the Democrat Party who think that was beautiful. What the Hamas?
No. Okay, so we're not going to keep doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you
gish
said
galloping.
something
Hold on, friend. You said something already. Let me respond.
Okay.
Like the gish galloping is crazy, bro.
Yeah, we were just saying that these are voters. No, I mean, that's not even just
Yeah.
one side, but there are bad voters on both sides.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes, that's
but
what I'm
with
saying.
that being said, with that being said, right? for the most technologically sound and advanced military on the planet, it's kind of weird that they can't find any of the age group people and they're only finding women and children. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that those are the people that they're unaliving. But anyways.
They've found over 15,000 of the H group members and killed them. Do you know they hide in hospitals? They hide in schools?
It's not true. There's been no evidence to prove any of that.
There's not tunnels under hospitals with that H group? They don't have tunnels under hospitals?
Tunnels were always there. We're not going to keep going down this path, though.
Even if this is true, right?
Like, hold up. In them
hold up. Even if this is true, right? Hold up. Even if this is true, right? Let's say that this is true. Teleport Hamas members into hospitals in the United States. Would we bomb them or send in special forces?
Exactly that, Parker.
The tunnel system. I mean, if they were in the United States, I mean, I'd have to see the whole layout. You obviously like to send in special.
You would
forces,
argue for special forces, right? We wouldn't argue to carpet bomb these places with women and children in them.
If you can get it in,
right?
If you can get it in.
So really, my point is that people literally have to devalue Palestinian lives to justify carpet bombing them, because they wouldn't do it in their own country.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think if the H group had the technology that Israel had, do you think... Okay, the thing is, if Israel really wanted to commit a G-side...
They're already doing it.
They're already
doing it. They're already doing it. They
okay,
say, hey, we need you guys to evacuate this way because we're coming to find Hamas there. And then when the people go to evacuate that way, then they start bombing it. And then they say, oh, well, that place isn't
because
safe anymore. We need you to...
They don't let them leave?
No, the IDF has blocked it off.
It's not
We've
true.
watched it. There's people reporting from the ground. Like you can keep spreading the propaganda all you want. The rest of the world sees it.
You're telling me the H group does not block off roads for people to leave when Israel's about to attack. You're telling me that doesn't happen.
I said what I said already.
So you're telling me that doesn't happen?
I said what I said already.
Okay. All right. I mean, the thing is, look, I'm not saying that this is a very complex situation, right? This has existed for decades. And to be honest, there probably has to be some two-state solution to end it. Okay. I think, tragically, both sides here are very pissed off because of what has happened to them, right? Has there been civilians who have died? You know, Palestinian kids? Yeah, that's bad. That's effed up. And that's only going to encourage people to fight Israel more. And it's the same way on their side. When they saw their women and their kids getting raped and murdered, that pisses them off. That makes peace even more harder. And there has to be some solution to it, right? There has to be some solution. I don't know how to solve that. I mean, it's like this has happened for decades. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe apartheid was never the answer to begin with. Maybe that.
But I think to be realistic, right? Could Israel have done things better? Yeah, for sure. On their side, are there bad people in Israel who may have intentionally targeted, civilians?
You mean the government?
I think military operatives. I don't think that was their direct policy.
Are you kidding me?
If it was their direct policy to target civilians, there would be millions.
Netanyahu has been this person his whole entire life.
Wait, why would you carpet bomb them?
They would carpet bomb areas. They wouldn't carpet bomb the whole city.
Again, even if they carpet bomb areas, again, you could argue that these particular manners are just ways that they're trying to hide the ways in which they're killing people directly. Like that's not incompatible with this. So I think it's important to acknowledge that, right? We wouldn't do this ourselves, right? None of us would sit here and be like, okay, let's carpet bomb our own citizens because there could be a Hamas member in this hospital. We would send in special forces, right? We don't do this with
if it was just one hospital, yeah.
thing.
But what if it was 10,000 hospitals? What if it was 10?
But
what if it was
if they have American citizens, we're going to put that as ahead of everything else. We're going to be like, okay, we're not going to sacrifice 4 to 1 American citizens.
Right. Especially when Israel are the ones who built the tunnels in the first place, so they knew where they were and the layout because Israel had built them decades ago, so they could have just sent special forces in.
In every single instance, I don't think that was possible.
Not all the hospitals have tunnels underneath them. It was a specific hospital. Like, don't, conflate the issue and make it seem like every single hospital had this, because that's not the case.
I'm just saying, if Hamas went out and said, hey, Israel, we're going to fight you, we're going to wear uniforms, we're not going to hide amongst the civilian population, more civilians would be alive today. Okay? If October 7th didn't happen, this would not be happening today.
I'm not gonna like run down any rabbit holes with this, but like quite literally, the vast majority of Israel wanted Netanyahu out of office just like a year prior to this conflict happening. Like he quite literally was trying to keep himself out of jail for his wife. You know what I'm saying? Embezzling money the same way that Trump's trying to keep himself out of jail by running for president again.
I don't think that's why Trump's running for president, to stay out of jail. I mean, his most serious case, the documents case, I mean, that case is basically suspended now. I mean, the judge is not even going to bring it up. I mean, they got this case in New York, which that'll be a...
You're telling me that the documents case is worse than the case in Georgia? The RICO
case in
charges?
Georgia, I listened to the whole call in Georgia. I listened to that whole 1 hour, 9 minute phone call.
Yeah, you got to find me the votes and then threatening him and threatening his job?
Okay, how did he
bro, you
threaten-
got to be kidding me.
He literally was saying, they're laughing at you, Brad. They're laughing at you. I mean, you just got to find me 12,000.
The knots that you twist yourself in. Like, does it hurt? Honestly, does it hurt? Like, do you stretch before you do this?
I do stretch every day, yeah. But beside the point. Okay. With that whole call, he wasn't threatening to kill the guy. He wasn't threatening to throw him off office. He was saying, we have some groups who have said we have this evidence here, that this thing happened here. They said evidence. The Secretary of State said, sir, we don't have that evidence. End of the day,
Wait, Mr. Jones, do you have a pretzel emote? I was like, you should definitely make one if you don't have one.
I definitely should make a pretzel emote. You're right. I mean,
You
my
could
man
make
is
merch
twisted
on
in
that.
knots. I'm definitely gonna do it. My man is in knots right now. Like,
Yeah,
you know, the braided pretzel.
that is a great idea for merch.
He's in
I'm
the
literally
braided pretzel right now.
I'm literally explaining the situation. I mean,
No, sorry. I was just like, that's just such a good idea. I had to address it.
no, of course. Yeah. I actually used to be able to do a pretzels like when I was like 8. Then I like hurt my hip and then I couldn't do it anymore.
That's crazy. You've been practicing since you were young. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, not as much anymore. But it's like, I mean, look, I think there's a lot of effed up stuff going on in the world right now, you know, and it's been pretty bad
stuff.
for a while.
Trump's the
Okay,
effed up stuff.
Trump sign up. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Something.
I'm saying with Trump's look.
Okay, so I do have the video. I think I have it fully. I want to see if you can defend taxing the majority of Americans more taxes and not just the upper class.
Let's see this.
Okay. I really wish I could show my camera, but it doesn't let me.
You don't have enough follow, or you do. I can send you an invite.
Okay, cool. I'll show you this. This is on my computer. If it needs to be louder, I'll try to. So this is the press secretary.
If that law expires, it does raise almost every American. So does he still support that expiring without anything else in place?
So look, as you said, the president is going to is going to let the Trump tax cut expire, and he was very clear. But he will not raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000.
Do you remember that he actually changed this again to not be 400,000?
I'm sorry, bro. How can you play that and still have your same position?
Because it's inconsistent with the Democrat Party of claiming they're for the poor.
Well, what? Show me the video.
This is
show me the video of them
crazy.
claiming that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to show that you should have why will you vote for
Wait, I thought that's what the source was.
That was for the first part of it. I was trying
Oh, okay. Let's see the rest.
The second part
You
is
gotta vent those videos.
I'm not sure why you're laughing. I think trying to screw over the lower and middle class is sick. Do you agree? Yes or no?
That's not
If
what he's
you
doing.
can prove
and
that that's
Trump
what
did.
happened.
That's what
Yeah,
Trump
that's
did.
what Trump did.
Trump literally took money from poor people and people in the middle class and gave it to rich people.
So why How did you even bother looking at Trump's tax plan instead of?
Yes,
Yes.
I looked at a distributional analysis from the Tax Policy Center and the Joint Committee on Taxation.
Okay, so
And
you
we
did
saw
look
that he.
through-
Why would he make the cuts for the middle class and poor expire and incrementally go up year over year, but never change the ones for the rich, and they don't expire? And you're talking about screwing over the poor and the middle
I
class?
am the lower class. I have a disability. You call.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? Why would he let ours
makes fun of
expire?
people with disabilities.
Why would he let ours expire?
Disabilities. Have you bothered to look at what he did as president? That was
Can you answer my question first
Sure,
before
how-
you move to the next one? Why would he allow the tax policies, the tax cuts, to incrementally increase for poor and middle class people, right, and expire, but never change the tax cuts that he afforded the rich?
He
But the rich
did
pay most of
so.
the
That's why people were paying their fair share, better than
What?
Biden.
What?
Yes, it was.
No.
Look at Obama's. Would you like to?
Obama's tax policy? Yes, it's still
Yeah,
allowed.
look
Yeah,
at how
it's
bad it-
absolutely. It's still allowed for, you know what I'm saying, tons of standard deductions.
So, do you know what exactly Obamacare did? Because I do, and I was only like.
You can thank the Republican Party for that. You can thank Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz for forcing them to have a backstop of $500 penalty if you couldn't get insurance. That was due to Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio wanting to create a pool of money to make sure the insurance companies didn't lose any money.
Really? So you think that people should have to pay more fees, hidden fees, not be told about?
Yeah, that was Marco Rubio and
No,
Ted
that
Cruz.
was-
So be mad at
that
the
was what
Republican
Trump
Party.
undid. That was what Trump undid.
Wait, and I have a question. Is this if they do not buy any insurance?
Yes, correct.
So this actually, the reason, the justification they gave for this, I've seen, is that it increased the amount of people that go into these particular plans, which makes costs lower. So it's actually meant to reduce costs, right, overall, and make the plan overall better. Yes, there are particular individuals that were negatively hurt from this, right, but it is meant to increase overall coverage rates.
So, question: have you ever heard a comparison between Trump, Biden, and Obama? Yes or no?
Wait, say that one more time.
I can explain an in-depth explanation of something that Trump did, which is similar to Biden and Obama. I want to see if you stay consistent or if you change your life. Can I do that?
Go for it.
Okay, so do you know that Obama, we're starting in order to make it fair. So Obama specifically, do you remember when he tried to nominate a Supreme Court justice without the Senate vote? Do you think that was pro the Constitution that we have, or do you think that was anti? Because I would call that a dictator.
Yeah, no. So what Mitch McConnell did was anti-constitutional. Barack Obama had every right to choose a Supreme Court justice, and Mitch McConnell refused.
2/3. If not, then get someone else.
Well, yeah.
Wait, no, they refused. They refused to let him do so because of the time period, because of how long it was.
Yeah, because they said he was a
before the
lame dunk
election.
president.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're
then
playing politics.
Trump did it.
Yes.
Trump did it with lesser time left. Okay.
But he had the votes.
Wait,
It had nothing to do with having the
had nothing to do
votes.
with having the votes.
Now
yeah.
that-
He gets to choose. No, he gets to choose the Supreme Court justice, and they didn't want to hold a confirmation hearing before the end of the election cycle.
Because
so,
he didn't
what
have the votes in the
Mitch
Senate.
McConnell did was unconstitutional. You're supposed to hold, a confirmation hearing.
Let me
Period.
ask you
Yeah,
something.
they refused.
Let's say you're president, right?
Yes.
And you, let's say, I don't know, Democrat or whatever, right? No, it's a Republican's president, right? And they want to get a Supreme Court justice on, and you have the votes in the Senate to stop them from getting it on. You're telling me you're not going to stop them?
I would stop them, and I'd say, too bad. If you want a Supreme Court justice, then get someone who's more mutual instead of someone who was as far left as.
Well, I'm just saying from the Democrat side, right? Like you guys, like Parker and you.
Gorsuch, you said Gorsuch was far left?
Yes, they were really unliked by even the Democrat Party.
Okay, that's not true.
That is true. There was a lot of that's when we actually had diversity of thought. Far better.
Oh, so wait, I have a question. You want free diversity of thought, right?
No, I want, instead of using the victim card constantly, I want people to be treated equally regardless if they're
What is a victim card?
Oh, wait, can I? Okay, yeah, actually, I'll answer that.
Yeah, what is a victim card?
Okay.
Where do you pick one up? Give me some examples of the victim card.
Okay, so I live in Minnesota, so I actually saw the riots that happened in Minneapolis. I witnessed those. Would you say that, and I even recorded a couple, like when the Target got mass looted.
Yeah, outside agitators, not the Black Lives Matter protesters.
Do you remember what I even called it out, and I actually was able to predict the Democrat Party perfectly. I said that if they kept doing that, they would cause a Democrat civil war. Do you remember what Tim Walz's stance, who is the governor of Minnesota, he is a Democrat. Do you remember what he said?
No, I don't live in Minnesota.
Okay, he said specifically he would not, he would respect the police officers when the Democrat Party was condemning people doing this. And I'm really glad that I was able to get it right that the victim card would be used in a negative way.
What is a victim card? You still haven't explained it. I'm still waiting for you to tell me what a victim card is.
Okay, the victim card is saying that, let's say, when the left calls voter ID racist, let's use that firstly. Would you say that states that
poll taxes? If you don't have free voter ID, it's essentially a poll tax.
Yeah, that's a poll tax.
And they've already been determined by courts to be racist.
Exactly. In addition to that, like quite literally, states were finding out what ID black people were least likely to have, right? And then requiring that as the ID that you would need in order to vote.
Can you prove
You just
that?
need an ID to vote.
Name one state.
Yes, I can. Yeah, absolutely.
100 people who said, yes, I am going to vote either today or tomorrow before an election, and say that, and said specifically they were pushed away and could not vote. If you can do that, then why isn't an ID racist when a cop asks, can I see your license registration? Why is it not racist when, for example, you ask...
We're talking about in terms of voting. In terms of voting, right? It restricts the ability to vote. Voting is a fundamental constitutional right. Driving is a privilege.
Why do people... so if that is true, then it should be racist for all of that as well.
If people have identification documents, they can vote. I mean, it's not...
Yeah, why can't you use a college ID? And you know that you have... You know in order to register to vote, you have to have an ID? You know that, right?
I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they're registered to vote, right? If they're
do you
registered,
have an ID? I mean, right? I mean, you do, I assume, right? Yeah, Parker, you have an ID. I mean,
okay. So I want you, but here's what you guys don't. No. Here's what you don't know. Here's what you don't know. In the South, right? Many black people were born at home and did not get birth certificates and have no access to birthing records. This is what you don't know. Like, you guys act like segregation was 200 years ago. Segregation, my parents went to segregated schools. My parents. Ruby Bridges quite literally has an Instagram account. Like, so there's plenty of black people, right, who quite literally don't have IDs. But then also, when you factor in that court fines and things of that nature prevent you from being able to go and get your ID, and then they intentionally levy fines on marginalized communities, this is why we had Section 4 and Section 5 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. But you probably don't know what that is either. And you probably haven't read the decision on Shelby versus Holder either. Have you?
Let me ask you, if you're so smart, how many Democrats switched to the GOP who oppose the Voting Rights Act? How many? Tell me the exact number. Congress?
I honestly don't care. The Democrats still passed it.
There's only 2.
I don't care. The Democrats still passed it. Segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation always. You act like I don't know. It was Strom Thurmond. It was Strom Thurmond was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I think the other was Governor Walz. Yeah, so, and I think the other one was Governor Wallace. But I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about right now.
That explains the lie of the party switch.
No, it doesn't. As a matter of fact, I can prove the party switch right now. Hey, Parker, I'm gonna need the big screen again. Sorry, I'm gonna need the big screen.
Right ahead.
I'll prove that the party switch. We're gonna go over the 1956. No, we're gonna go over the 1956 Republican platform.
Do you know the New Deal? Yes or no?
We're gonna go over the 1956 Republican platform.
Yes, but before we have to explain why black people switched to the Democrat Party when the GOP did abolish slavery.
What?
Let me
The
Let me
GOP
ask
didn't
you, why
abolish
did the-
slavery, bro.
why
What are you
did-
talking
The
about?
GOP voted to abolish slavery. That's the majority.
Okay. Here's the 1956 Republican platform. Provide federal. Here, let me just put it on. Let me hold on. Let me just screenshot this so you can see it.
Okay. So when did the parties actually switch? Because we had Dixiecrats in the 1950s.
Yeah, Dixiecrats aren't Democrats. They were conservatives,
So if
obviously.
they were conservatives, then
Yes.
why was there more Democrats who voted against the Voting Rights Act than Republicans?
There was not. There was not.
Then explain.
Democrats passed. Okay, I'll pull up the stats because why are you lying, bro? Please be quiet. Both of us can't talk at the same time. Okay, this is the 1956. This is the 1956 Republican platform. Provide federal assistance to low-income communities. That doesn't sound like the Republican Party of the day. Protect Social Security. Definitely not the Republican Party of the day. Provide asylum for refugees. Oh, definitely not the Republican Party of today. Extend minimum wage. Definitely not the Republican Party of today. Improve unemployment benefits so that the system so it covers more people. Eesh, definitely not the Republican Party. Strengthen labor laws so that workers can join unions. Definitely not the Republican Party of the day, right? And then the last one on there is assure equal pay for equal work regardless of sex. That was the Republican Party's platform in 1956. Now we're gonna look at who voted for the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Who voted for the 1965
It seemed
voting?
like today it's like there's
rights
groups trying to stop black people from being able
Yeah!
to. I mean, like, there's plenty of black people who have figured out how to get an ID. Like, it's not that difficult. I mean,
I'm not going to keep arguing the same thing. They
Well,
quite
I
literally
mean,
state
I'm right, but
Alabama, Mississippi, and I'll go back to it in just a second because you guys keep bopping around because every time you get caught up in a lie, you have to move to the next thing.
how are we caught up in? Well, you
How many
go over your
times did
point
it
now,
take
and
to
I'll
get the Voting Rights Act. How many times? How many times? I'm really curious. How many times did it take the House to get the Voting Rights Act?
Yeah, because somebody thought it was cool to pee in a bucket. You know what I'm saying? To filibuster.
So the first time.
I don't care. So 80%. Okay. So here, this is who voted for, you know what I'm saying, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. An act to enforce 15th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. This was the Voting Rights Act of 1965. 47 Democrats, 30 Republicans.
Okay.
47 Democrats, 30 Republicans.
And which party had a majority? Let me ask you that.
Does it matter? You asked who
Yes, it
passed
does.
it. You asked who passed it.
Yes, it does. Let's ask. There were 46 Democrats. Let me ask you this question.
Well, did we not just go over the 1956 Republican Party's platform? Are you telling me
Yes,
that's the
and we
Republican
saw
Party
more
today?
Republicans support the Voting Rights Act than
Are
Democrats.
you saying that that's the Republican Party of today?
I'm saying that.
Can you answer the question, yay or nay?
I have to answer. You want me to answer? Yes.
No, I want you to answer yes or no. Is that the Republican Party platform of today?
That's
Did
not
those
the
ideals
Republican
align?
Party then.
Yet what? What?
That's not the Republican Party then.
Do you know who the president was in 1956?
Wasn't it? I know
Eisenhower.
that it was Eisenhower. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and what was going on in 1956 where Eisenhower would need to do something like that?
We had segregation going on in the South, and we had Brown versus Board of Education in '54, so there was changes happening.
But why? What are you smacking on?
Sorry, I'm just chewing on something. It's like what is this thing? Yeah, let's put it away. It's like a bottle cap.
That was literally Eisenhower's platform.
Okay. Let me ask you this. In 1964, do you know how many Democrats there were and how many Republicans? And in 1962.
I'm sorry. Why are we asking the most useless questions ever?
I'm asking this to prove a point. Would you
I
say
don't give a
if
flying
one-
fuck, dude. Can you give me
if one
something relevant to
party
the
has
topic?
Two-thirds of Senate, would you say that...
Hey, here you go. Here you go, Parker. Here you go, Parker.
I got you. Let me expand.
North Carolina judges strike down voter ID law saying they discriminate against black voters. Okay, thank you.
And I have it too. I have the exact vote for the Senate. There was more Democrats who voted against it than Republicans. Would you say that...
Doesn't matter. Democratic Party passed the bill.
So if they passed it, then if they stayed Democrats, then that means that the party never changed.
They
If the
didn't stay
party's
Democrats. In addition to that, right? So you're telling me that all of those people that live in the South, in Georgia, Alabama, you know what I'm saying, Arkansas, Texas, you're telling me all of those people, what did they all move to the North? Is that what happened, Parker? Did all those people move to the North and got replaced by somebody else? Or did those families have children and their children had children and they all kept the exact same values and the exact same beliefs? And that's why they fly the Confederate flag right now at Trump rallies, because the parties changed because they never changed their beliefs.
Question, is Virginia
There's like
a
five
red state?
There's not many Confederates.
Is
in the
Virginia a
Republican
red state? Last I checked, Virginia is not a red state. They both said no. So let me ask you that.
You didn't even no. You see how every time I make a point, he just moves to something else? Are you noticing this, Parker?
I'm looking at the full list.
All the people in the South, did they move out of the South, or did they have children and their children have children and then they somehow became Republicans?
Most stayed there.
Exactly, and then they somehow became Republicans? Because who do they vote for now? What party do they vote for now?
You mean the Confederate people?
Yes. What party do they vote for now?
They vote for the GLP because they represent the Lord.
So the Dixiecrats were conservatives back then.
You said because they represent the Lord?
they-
Did you just say that? Wait,
Who,
so
me, or-
wait. Did you just say because they represent the Lord?
No, the lower class. They switched.
What?
GOP represents the lower class?
Question: why is there
This
more
is crazy.
why is there more Democrats than Republicans switching parties in the last 4 years? Why?
I
Answer that.
don't know.
Racism,
The
probably.
Democrat Party is toxic.
No,
me ask you this.
wait. Why
Does he have any evidence to prove this?
Actually,
Yes.
that's just conjecture.
That's not conjecture.
Yeah, it
why
is.
is there more Democrats leaving the Democrat
Wait.
Party?
You said it's because it's more toxic. Why should I accept that premise?
Well, I mean, would you say a Democrat who is pro-life, if he decides to leave that party because he doesn't think his values match with the party's, would you say
That's not
that...
indicative of the Republican Party
Well,
necessarily.
I mean,
being
that
toxic.
shows the Democrats aren't diversity of thought. If they're not diversity of thought...
No,
then-
it just shows that more people are leaving. I don't see why you're accepting this premise.
Well, I mean, do you accept that? Let's use...
Okay, so here's what they've done is an analysis of this, right? Here's what they've done is analysis of this. More than 1 million voters across 43 states switched to the Republican Party. This phenomenon is occurring in both Democratic and Republican states, as well as cities and small towns. The shift is particularly pronounced in suburban areas where well-educated swing voters turned against Trump in recent years appear to be swinging back. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying that it has to do with is the COVID-19 mandates. But this party switch of people moving over happened started to happen prior to the last election.
So that is a party switch then, correct?
Yeah, some people moved over. 1 million people.
So-
I mean, there's 385 million people in the United States. 1 million people is hardly alarming.
You say the same thing for 2008 to 2012 when Obama lost 3 million voters, correct?
Racism. When you have a
That's
white
not
man like Donald
racist.
Trump, yes, when you have a white man like Donald Trump running around the country telling you that he wasn't born here and that he's part of a terrorist organization and that he wants to be a dictator and he's the second coming of, you know what I'm saying? Like he's Satan, you know what I'm saying? He's the person that the Bible warned us about. No, that Obama wanted to be. That Obama wanted to be. And you heard you say, whatever his name is, try to say it. What did he say when Obama was trying to get his Supreme Court justice passed? Oh, doesn't that sound like a dictator to you? It's propaganda. It's propaganda.
No.
That happens
Propaganda.
on both sides. I mean,
No.
let's be realistic.
Hateful propaganda does not happen on the left. It does not.
Not that there's
No, it
no
doesn't.
hate on the left.
I said hateful propaganda that harms massive groups of people absolutely does not happen on the left. We're not out there, bro. Hold on one second. We're not out there trying to take rights from anybody, like women's rights to bodily autonomy or medical privacy. We're not trying to take rights away from trans individuals or parents of trans children who want to give their children life-saving.
For kids under 18.
Their children life-saving care. You know what I'm saying? We're not removing books. We're not removing books from the library. We're not removing Black history from schools. We're not removing historical Black figures from libraries in our teaching programs. So, like, come on, bro.
So you think? Do you know the book Genderqueer? Have you heard of that book?
I have a copy.
I think that every book ever written should be in the libraries. And if the parents don't want their children to read it, then the parents can make that decision.
That's what happened in Florida.
Cool.
They literally
It's a Playboy in the library then.
They literally compared.
You can't take a few parents, right, and then say that none of the parents or none of the children have access to this because a few parents have an issue with it. You leave the books in there, and if the parents don't want their child to have it, then their parents can decide whether the children have it. But it should remain in the library. We should not be taking books out of the library, and we should not be burning books. That's crazy. Remember the last time they were burning books? When was the last time they were burning books? When was the last time they were burning books? Oh, okay. Okay.
They had literally. I live in Florida. They had that exact same thing. They called
So do I.
DeSantis Hitler because he wanted to take graphically sexual books out of elementary schools. They compared him to a.
Should we take the Bible out of the elementary schools too? Then, so we should make sure the Bible stays out of elementary schools too.
I
then,
don't
right?
think it was just graphically sexual ones as well, right? And then
Look, I
again,
think realistically, each county should be able to make decisions what book they want. So, like rural Oklahoma, if they want to have the Bible in their school district, fine. If San Francisco wants to have LGBTQ books in their school library, fine.
So
Okay?
if a place in
Each
West
county can make
Virginia
their
wants to
decision.
completely erode their history of any history associated with Black individuals in America being oppressed,
That's how Frederick
right? Is
does
that
it.
okay?
I mean, that's not even happening. I mean,
Wait, no, I'm not saying whether or not it's happening. I'm asking you, right? Would you be okay with that being the curriculum?
I
in that
wouldn't live
particular
there.
area?
I wouldn't support it.
You might not live there, but would you be okay with that being the curriculum?
I wouldn't like it. I certainly wouldn't like it. I wouldn't have my kid go to that school. I don't think that'd be a good school district to go to, and I think a lot of people would feel the same way. You know, but at the end of the day, there's parts of the country that are very racist, and they have their racist values.
And they vote GOP. That doesn't ring any alarms for you?
Subscription. Thank you so much, Aaron.
They do.
Hey,
and
I'm out
they
here
are
baking
the
pretzels,
far
bro.
right.
I'm out here baking pretzels.
They are the far, far right of the party, okay? And I could say the far, far left of the party has some pretty horrifying things that they
Like
believe.
what? Like what?
That October
Healthcare?
7th.
Like healthcare for all? Like housing for all?
Let me give two
Like access to
examples.
water? Like access to food?
Nobody's against that. We
Let me
just
give
have a
two
fundamental
examples.
disagreement. You think the government should do all this stuff. You think the government's efficient. They should provide housing, healthcare, all this stuff. I believe the government's inefficient.
The government's gonna step in whenever the market becomes inefficient. That's the point.
Yeah, you
That's what
believe
you're
in the
not understanding, is that
Constitution,
There are
don't you?
certain scenarios where the institutions of the market fail and they don't
Absolutely.
support the interests of the public. And that's
No, I
exactly
agree.
why we think that there are particular circumstances where the government should step in. We're not saying the government should control everything or the government should do every aspect of
They should
our
regulate.
economy
They
in
should
terms
regulate.
of command and control. Regulations are necessary in some circumstances for socially
Absolutely.
efficient outcomes.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, I'm not
thank you,
against
Lindsay.
regulation.
Thank you,
I'm
Lindsay,
just
for the
saying
Cash
the
App. I
overall-
appreciate you.
The overall
Okay.
efficiency of the government doing everything is not good.
What is the
The
preamble to
Wait,
the
no one's
Constitution
arguing
say?
government do everything. We're arguing government
But I'm
step
saying
in
if you're
when market
providing
failures.
healthcare and housing through the government, I mean, that
Yeah,
means
because there are failures in certain scenarios. Failures is such like people not being able to have access to houses, right? People not having access to healthcare, and people dying and having
Well, there's
terrible
an
conditions because
affordability
of these
crisis
things.
in this country for sure. I mean, it's been going on under Trump and Biden because they just spend money we don't have. You know,
What does the preamble to the
No, wait, no.
Constitution say? Truth. What
You're
does the
saying
preamble to the
inflation is
Constitution
because of
say?
our spending, right? Give me any reason it's not. Wait, why are you saying that's the main reason when we have the Federal Reserve's response to COVID and oil prices?
yeah, most of the inflation is from oil. Most of the inflation is from the
Yeah, oil and the Fed.
oil.
How do you attribute it to the president? Because Trump spent just as much deficit spending as Biden did, actually a little bit more, accounting interest.
Trump added $7 trillion with over
It was
his
8.2 including interest.
years, and I think Biden's what did he get 6? Okay, I mean, yeah, he added $1 trillion.
Well,
I mean, I'm saying,
estimate is going to be 7.9.
okay, yeah, I mean, look, they're both spending money that we don't have, and that's an issue. I think with housing, what they have to do is they have to like contract some of it and like get people bare minimum housing for everybody in the country, right?
Oh,
Like,
wait, but you
there's,
agree with getting rid of homelessness?
Absolutely, I want to get rid of homelessness.
Yeah, that's not a Republican policy, though.
Yes, it is.
You admit
that is
that.
Republican.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is. That's a Republican policy.
It's
No, it's
literally in Agenda 47 to help homeless
No,
veterans.
No, it's not.
No, that's
It's in Agenda 47.
no.
You can look at it.
Truth. They
you want me to-
arrest people. They arrest people for urban camping. They put them into these tent cities, or they put them in prison. You understand? That's not like we support our population and we give them housing. Those are literal internment camps.
So
You
why
mean
is
urban
Trump
camping in parks, right? Or outside of...
I looked up his California thing. You cannot put a tent on somebody's front yard. That was a lie. Sorry,
No,
I
no,
meant
you
to admit
can't
that
actually.
earlier.
No,
You
I
can't.
I can show you right here.
Also, I would like you to tell me what the preamble to the Constitution is. What does it say? Since you think that we are not supposed to take care of the people, what is the preamble to the
I do
Constitution?
think we need
No
to
one's arguing against taking care of the people.
I think that I actually have a fun little stance that I think even Jonesy will enjoy. Or Jones X, sorry. May I say it? That I actually hope Trump does. It would make it so much better, even though it'd probably scare
You
a lot
hope
of
Trump does what?
I really want him to do a specific policy because we have so many politicians who are the upper class and don't really struggle as much. And I actually like ALC. We've seen her cry and make it clear that she hates what America represents and wants it changed. Even had Obama do that when he was president. I really want for every politician, this would be a fun reality show, which I know is iffy because a lot of them are fake, but I would love if we got every politician, both Democrat, MAGA, Republican, every elected official, to be able to go to what government they think is better than our country. And
This is the voters, y'all. These are our voters,
for
y'all.
a year.
These are our voters, y'all.
Yes or no? Do you think that
No, I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Do you think we should close our borders then and have
No.
no migrants come in? You pick. Tell me. This is a hypocrisy if you say that we shouldn't have our politicians represent we the people, a government for the people. Yes or no? Do you think that our people in general, are really privileged in the U.S. compared to other governments? Yes or no?
No, not compared to what other governments? Are we
Yeah,
talking
like,
about Switzerland,
to a lot of
Netherlands?
places, yeah,
No,
but not to
Venezuela.
the social democratic countries that we see.
Argentina.
Yeah,
around
not the
world.
social democratic countries. No,
If you want socialism, then
That's not
how
socialism.
it is.
politicians.
Wait, can we ask him to
bro?
define
The
socialism?
politicians.
the politicians.
Hey,
The politicians get socialism.
yeah, wait,
Then let's
wait.
then let's
What? Can you
bring
define
them to them all.
socialism, real quick?
So, you want me to explain what socialism is?
Yeah, define socialism.
Okay. Do you want me to do a specific government or
Give me a definition of socialism.
Okay. So the
Jazzy,
definition
thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much.
the definition of socialism is where we have a lot of free stuff. It is a method to combat homelessness, but it's not. You don't own anything. It's
That's not socialism at all. That's not socialism at all.
is free and you don't own anything.
Yeah, that's not socialism at all.
Socialism,
Yeah, that's not
socialism is
socialism
about
at all.
method of production. Socialism
It's
is about
social ownership.
Listen. It's about the workers controlling the means of production. So
No,
throughout the
it's
context of
people-
history, particular societies have tried to do that by using the state as an arm. It's
So you
not
want-
government owns stuff. Government does stuff. It's not. No money. Not paying for anything. It's literally about a method of production.
Yeah,
It's lit- so
My
someone-
man said it's free stuff,
So
and you
someone who
don't
makes
own
a
anything.
business and puts the money into it, right? And under socialism, the workers are the ones that decide what he does with his business. When they
Yeah,
didn't
like
put the
their
money.
own business. Yeah, so it'd be
No,
like
they would collectively open the
They
business.
collectively,
Truth.
yeah.
But
Collectively
it wasn't-
open the
it's
business.
not a collective. They didn't put the money up. It's
No,
the guy-
no, you're not listening. Nobody
It would be a
would. Nobody. Yeah, it would be a co-op. They would collectively open the business. Would Amazon run without the people that work in the Amazon distribution facilities?
No, they hire him.
Oh, would Amazon be able to operate without those people?
No, it would not.
Good. Would McDonald's be able to operate without the people that work in McDonald's?
No, they wouldn't. But that doesn't
Okay.
mean they.
The average
they have
McDonald's-
the right to decide the decisions
Sure.
the company makes at corporate.
The average McDonald's makes $125,000 worth of profit off of each individual employee. 125 grand in profit, net profit for each
Like-
employee.
yeah.
How much does an average McDonald's employee make?
Depends on the area. I mean, I'd say 25 to 35K a year full time.
25.
To 35.
25.
California,
25.
it's like 40.
They make 25.
Truth. There are already cooperatives that exist, right? My grandpa worked at a
Consensual
cooperative.
cooperatives.
Yeah. They worked at a cooperative, right? Again, these types of business structures do definitely already exist.
They do.
What People,
And if someone
what
wants
people
to do that, that's fine.
wait, hold on, man. Sure, right? I'm not even arguing socialism right now. I'm just defining what socialism is to him because he has a misunderstanding of it. Right. And there are people who argue for particular types of socialist models, right, that would argue for mandates or would argue for like moving to these. I specifically argue for things like subsidies, right? Because the biggest issue that cooperatives have is getting off of the ground, getting that initial investment. So if they have initial investments, right, it would be more likely that we see this type of organization in production, right, if we did that.
If that's what people want, I'm all for it. If you wanna pool money together and do that with your company, go on ahead. But I'm saying for me, if I had, let's say, $1 million and I open up a business, I want to be the dictator of that business. I don't want to have other people who I hire making the major decisions with me. That's just me. Maybe you want
But
that.
that's there are already regulations you abide by, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying like
what they
dictator,
essentially
I'm
could
just-
argue is that these are similar to the other types of regulations we already abide by in market-based structures. Right? It's just another one about the organization of production. And that organization of production is shifted towards, right, capital ownership being tied to the workers and the people who are producing the labor, right? Not necessarily the people who have invested the original investment, because the original
Well, I mean,
investment
some
would be tied
companies
to
have
the
that.
state.
Right. Here's our fundamental issue here, Truth. And I don't know how to say your name up there. I don't want to mispronounce it. What's your name, friend?
Me or
Yes, you.
you say?
You say, okay. The fundamental issue that we have here in the United States, right, is the vast majority of our country is very undereducated, right? They have no idea. They have no idea about foreign policy. They have no idea about how governments operate outside of, you know what I'm saying, the United States border. The vast majority of them can't comprehend the things that they're reading past a 5th grade reading level. So they can read stuff, but they can't actually comprehend what it is they're reading. And so the vast majority of their decision making comes from memes that they saw, or a TikTok that they watch, or just the headline from the news article, or something that they saw on Facebook. And the problem with that is, in Goebbels, who was the Ministry of Propaganda for Adolf Hitler, said that you don't have to tell people the truth because the rank and file citizen is relatively unintelligent. You just have to make it simple. You just have to make it simple and keep saying it over and over and over again. And eventually the lie becomes the truth. Yeah. Like, make America great again. Like, lock her up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Build that wall. Like, build that wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things, you program them into your core belief. And there's a disconnect, right, between the vast majority of the population. That's why we have people in QAnon. That's why we have people traveling all over the United States to go to these Trump rallies. They buy the bumper sticker and the bobblehead and the NFT and the T-shirt and the flag and the coffee mug. And you know what I'm saying? Like, no, hold on. Let me finish, friend. Let me finish, please. And then you can ask me whatever you want. Like, they spend all of this money. And then when he says, oh, they stole the election from us, send me money, and people are literally leveraging their house and selling their boat so that they can send Donald Trump, a billionaire, money. And then when you see white supremacy lined up with them, right, nothing stops you. Not a single thing stops you because you've been so propagandized, so programmed at this point that you can't move past that core belief. Because if anybody tells you anything that goes against it, you have an amygdala response. Your body tells you you're literally in pain. Your fight, flight, fear, freeze or fawn receptors go off. And you're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this can't be right because this guy told me, you know what I'm saying, that he was going to save us.
Yo, Cece, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, CC, for the $10.
Cece.
Thank you, CC, for the $10.
That's your belief in that, but I believe actions speak louder than words. What Biden has shown, he doesn't respect me as a human being. He said that.
Wait, when?
Well, I mean, remember, I can give you the exact speech. Do you remember when he called MAGA the greatest extremism? Or I'm gonna get the exact quote. But.
Oh, he didn't respect you because you're MAGA?
No, I mean, he devalues the voters.
We shouldn't respect fascism.
Hitler, yes or no?
We shouldn't respect fascism.
Well, you're not fascist. It's like
if we're
there's
fascist,
like
then show me
1% of the party.
Well, because you couldn't explain to us what socialism is, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to take your education on what fascism is.
I literally explained it to you. You asked, you say what it was.
No, I'm talking about you say. I was talking to you say just now.
Okay, so I'm quoting the exact same thing that we saw Hitler do in the 40s, but it's Joe Biden. This is the exact quote. This is from NBC. So if NBC is reporting this, then it's gotta be truth, right?
Dude, this guy is unbelievable. I can't believe he exists.
I am unbelievable. I'm using left-wing sources. Look. To prove a point, just like...
This is a real voter, chat.
Yeah, I'm a real voter that actually left the Democrat Party because they left me.
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Parker, I'll be back in 1 second, bro.
Except the party switches. Why did Hillary Clinton lose? That's questions that you should be asking. Why did the Democrat Party deny the 2000 election, 2004, and 2016? If Trump did the same, then he's on the same level as the Democrat Party. And also be violent for months and months. Would you condemn, if you condemn January 6th, you'll condemn the riots of trying to overturn the 2016 election? Do you, yes or no?
Yeah.
So you did condemn it. You did not say that the election was stolen, and you said yes.
I do not think 2016 was stolen.
Okay. Did you do the same with 2004 and 2000?
Again, if you are undermining the American election when there's no reason to believe that it was false, I am going to disagree with that regardless of whether or not you're Democrat or Republican.
I do too.
Okay, so then you disagree with Donald Trump, right? Literally undermining the American elections by not accepting the fair and democratic election results for years after, while getting tens of millions of people to believe in these lies about the election, that it was stolen.
And you say the same thing with Hillary, correct?
Yeah, I would say the same thing with Hillary. But Hillary didn't do this for years after and get tens of millions of people to believe this.
2022.
Completely false. You thinking that she got the same level of people to believe that is laughable.
Well, I mean, to believe it, no.
Okay, so please acknowledge reality.
I have acknowledged
So
reality.
why are you going to vote for a guy that quite literally is undermining our democratic processes?
If he is, tell me policy where he's taken away your specific constitutional rights. If he's a dictator...
I'm not saying he's a dictator. What I'm saying is he's undermining our American democratic processes by not accepting the fair and democratic election results. Is that not clear? I don't see how that could be any more clear.
Has he done that 3 times? Yes or no? If it's okay for Dems to do it 3 times, then it's okay for Trump to do it 3 times.
I never said it was okay.
Then Trump has 2 more times to deny the election to go, to be on the same level.
I'm sorry, are you okay?
No, I'm fine.
You think that it's wrong in every scenario. How does it justify it in this scenario? Because Democrats have done it in the past.
No, I'm saying that...
And they have not done it to this degree.
Well, I mean, would you say months of rioting and trying to change change it even in January. Like Maxine Waters, she actually tried to challenge the results of the election in her state.
Have you noticed that everything that bothers him surrounds around black people or a black person? Have you picked up on that, or is it just
That was
me?
Joe Biden. I didn't know Joe Biden was black.
Everything that he's mentioned,
it.
the Black Lives Matter rally, he still hasn't told me what a victim card is. I've been waiting since the moment he got
Okay,
on for him to tell me what a victim card is.
Okay, I'll give you the exact definition of why. I admit I actually switched. One of the reasons I left the party was because I actually believe what the public school system said for equality, that you should treat people equally regardless of how they look. And then the next year or two, they said that you gotta treat black people differently. Do you think that black people should be treated differently from any other race? Yes or no?
I think that we should, our education system, if that's what we're talking about specifically, but I think that it should be equitable.
No, I'm saying in general. We have Democrats in Congress.
So his issue is with black people. Got it.
No, my issue is with using the victim card.
What is the victim card, guy?
The victim card is, I already explained, like, for example, claiming that voter ID is racist.
Okay, but the courts determined it was racist. The courts determined it was racist.
So blacks are too stupid.
Blacks?
Yes.
Blacks?
Yes, Joe Biden said that. Do you praise or condemn it?
Did you just say blacks?
Yes, black people.
Oh, black people, not blacks. Are we talking about crayons or are we talking about human beings?
I'm talking about human beings.
Like, bro, just tell me you're racist, and I'm cool with that. I don't mind it at all.
I admit I was, and I left that party because of the racism.
Because you were racist?
No, because of the racism.
What?
No, I'm admitting that if you believe in equality, you can't say that there's white supremacy. You cannot say that your race determines your identity. Your choices make your identity. You choose.
Hold on, let me just so we're clear. So the fact that black women are 3.75 times more likely to die in childbirth has nothing to do with their race?
No.
Oh, what is it then? What is it about then?
I cannot answer.
Oh, okay. What about black infants in NICU being 3.5 times more likely to die in the NICU than a white child? That has nothing to do with race?
Well, it's the hospitals that are.
Okay, got you. Okay, here's the next one. Why are black people 7 times more likely to be pulled over in their car during the day and less likely to be pulled over in their car at night when the sun goes down?
And is that and question, does that discriminate your specific...
Can you answer the question? Why are black people more likely to be pulled over during the day when the sun is up and less likely to be pulled over at night when the sun is down? Why is that?
My guess is because that something is shown that's outside, because you can't just assume all cops are racist. We have bad cops, yes.
We studied, you know what I'm saying, precincts in 48 of the United States, over 1 million traffic stops. So over 1 million traffic stops, they found that black people are significantly more likely to be pulled over during the day and less likely to be pulled over at night. Can you answer why that is?
Well, the area, I mean, there's an area, there's...
Depends on the area.
I just said 1 million traffic stops across all 48 states. You don't think they accounted for that? How many states are connected? How many states are connected, guys? How many states are connected, guys?
48.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Which cities, though?
Friend, Jesus Christ, over 1 million traffic stops.
Can you drop and then join
across
back real quick?
all
'Cause you got a
48 states.
No, I had to click something. So.
Yeah, just drop out of the live and then come back.
Yeah, sure. I got you.
Okay.
Why won't they just answer the question, Parker?
I don't
know. Do you want me to?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's more law enforcement presence in African American and Hispanic American communities. You agree with that, correct? You agree?
They
with
accounted for this. So why are black people more likely to be pulled over during the day and less likely to be pulled over at night?
Well, it's probably it's police profiling based on the area, the location.
Profiling whom?
Well, look. I mean, look. Okay, if we're gonna look at statistics, statistically speaking,
Can you answer the question? I don't want you to. I don't want to look at statistics. I want you to tell me why black people are more likely to be pulled over during the day and less likely to be pulled over at night.
Let him answer.
Let me answer it. Poor people commit more crime because of desperation. Yes, African American people tend to have a lower income than white families or Indian families. That's just statistically true. During the day, why would I say so? Because police do profiling based on criminal statistics. And statistically speaking...
So you're telling me that the police are racially profiling. So you're telling me that the police are in fact racially profiling.
Profiling based off of...
Skin color.
To an extent, yeah.
Okay, so they're racially profiling.
They are criminally profiling. I don't think they look at a random black person in a suit and tie and say, "Oh, let's just pull him over."
So provided that I don't have a suit and tie on in my BMW,
I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying? That I'm probably stealing it.
No, I don't think that's the case, right? Do I think there needs to be some work done in policing? Yeah. Do I think there's some biases that certain police officers have? Of course.
Okay.
Right?
Here's my next question. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate you. So we've clarified that is in fact, you know what I'm saying? Now we've substantiated that is in fact racial profiling. Thank you for admitting that.
Yes,
So hey, you say when did racism end in America?
You mean on the books? Well,
Are you talking about Texas? Which was
when did racism end in America?
Yeah, I have to ask you. Do you mean in every state?
When did racism end in America? I don't think America's in Texas.
Are you
I think America's
Texas?
America.
That was the last state. Yes or no?
You mean on the legislative side? Well, legislatively, it ended in the late 1960s. Do I think?
When did racism end in America?
Systemic structural racism ended in the late 60s, early 70s.
I'd say 40s.
African Americans.
The 40s, huh? The 40s when there was still segregation.
Well, I mean, think about it. Why were black people doing better back then than they are currently?
What happened to those black communities?
We actually saw them actually do far better.
What happened to those black communities?
They got worse when they went in the 60s.
What happened to them?
Well, the Great Society got passed by Lyndon Johnson.
Oh, so you're telling me that that's 1921 was or 1926 was the bombing of Oklahoma City, the Greenwood district of Oklahoma City, but then there's Lake Lanier, then there was New York where they built the park over top of it. Then there was Rosewood in Florida. Then there was the move bombing in Philadelphia.
There's historic racism in this country. No one's denying
so what year did it end? What year did it end? What year did it end?
Yo, Ariel, thank you for the $18 on Cash App. And Kathleen, thank you for the $35 on Cash App. Can we get a W Kathleen and a W Ariel in the comment section? Thank you so much, y'all.
Ariel, thank you for the $20 Cash App. Appreciate you. Ariel, W Ariel in the chat. Thank you for the $20 Cash App. What year did it end?
Systemic racism on paper ended in the late 60s. Racism that still exists today. There's still discrimination today.
But question for that. What can I, as a white person, be allowed to do that a black person cannot do?
Great. I'm glad you asked that question. You can wear your hair as it naturally grows out of your head without being called unprofessional or, you know what I'm saying, or dirty or a thug or, you know what I'm saying, unkept. Like you can wear your hair as it naturally grows out of your head and nobody's going to say anything about your appearance. You can drive during the day. Without worrying about having to be pulled over for your skin color. You know what I'm saying? You can go to school and learn, you know what I'm saying, about your actual history instead of some abbreviated or abridged version of your history. You can go to a grocery store. And you don't have to worry about the employees following you around and then wanting to check your pockets before you leave. Would you like me to keep going? You can go into a bank and cash a check without them calling the police on you because they think that you're trying to steal money. Like, would you want me to keep going?
The combing hair thing, I mean, if I let my hair grow out and I don't...
You want me to keep going?
You just said something that happened to me, and I'm a white dude. So if you're gonna make that claim, then
oh my god, you see him try to straw man. I mean, you see him try to steel man my argument, try to pick the weakest thing that he thinks that I said, and he's like, no, this is the one I'm gonna pick. You know what I'm saying? Trying to steel man my argument.
My life experience.
What's your last name, bro? What's your last name?
deal.
Okay.
why
Where'd you get it from?
I got it from obviously my dad.
And where did he get that last name from?
He got it from his father.
And what about that last name?
That was the father after that, but it did change.
Great. So where do you think I got my last name from?
I would expect the same way. Maybe it changed. That's up to
so from slave owners. So you get to pass your last name down generation to generation to generation, and I have to pass down the people that owned my people.
So, question about that: why? What do you know? What the slogan for slavery was back then?
I don't
Do you know
give
what it
two
was?
shits what the slogan for slavery was.
Well, I mean, I'm curious because it's really similar to.
I'm not answering this question.
Okay, I'll give it to you because clearly.
See the gish galloping? He hasn't addressed a
What?
single thing that I said.
I
Not a
haven't
single
addressed
thing.
it.
The whole time that we've been up here, every point that I make, he literally moves on to the next thing. He's like, oop, got me again. Let me run over here. Oop, got me again. Let me run over here. You're like a mouse in a mousetrap, bro.
Do you defend the my choice argument? Let me ask you that first.
Wait,
body,
why
my
don't you
choice.
answer his questions? Like he literally just said that you weren't
Yeah,
answering
you said,
anything,
I
and then you
agree.
just literally did that again and literally didn't answer anything.
I have answered.
No, you didn't.
Now let me ask you this: why is it that there's
Wait, stop
black
answering other
dormitories?
questions and address his position. That he
I,
just
I
showed.
I am explaining why I'm discriminating as a white person. Would you say that black dormitories, specific colleges, is discrimination towards?
What was the reason for them opening historically black colleges? What was the reason for HBCUs? Why did they exist?
Do you remember when there was black bus seats? Yes or
Why
no?
won't you answer my question? What
I
was the
am
reason the
answering with a
HBCUs
question.
exist?
Would you be? I would say I do not.
What is the reason for HBCUs existing? What is the reason for
I know.
HBCUs
Why?
existing?
I have asked you 3 times.
For African American education, they were not getting educated. They didn't have upper institutions for them because white schools wouldn't let them in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So that's the reason they exist. And did you know that you can be a white person and go to a HBCU?
Really?
Yes.
So that includes.
Do you
black
know? Do you know that in some HBCUs there's actually more white students than black students? Did you know that that in some HBCUs that there's more white students there on scholarship than black students? So what are you saying, bro?
What I'm saying is, would you call racism the same way if there was a white college? Yes or no? Even if it was black-
all the other colleges are white.
No, they're not. That's why there used to be affirmative action. I'm glad that got taken out.
Affirmative action predominantly helped white women.
It helped white women and black people as well.
Mostly white women.
Yes, mostly white women.
I mean, I think the question is, how do we move forward, right? How do
Bro
we
is just a
move forward?
flat out like, bro, just listen. Just say, hey, I'm a racist.
I am not racist because I believe that your life is valued. should
No,
be
you
as
don't value my
valued.
life. You still haven't answered why black women are 3.75 times more
I
likely
said
to die
I
in
don't
childbirth.
know. I
Okay.
asked you to tell me why, and you
Is it by accident? Because they don't listen to black women when black women tell them that they're in pain.
Okay, what causes
Discrimination.
No, I'm saying what causes that? Is there
Racism.
If it's racism, then why would it even happen? What's the cause and effect?
Because people learn in medical college that black people don't experience pain the same way that white people do.
Well, I mean, I consider you that's inequality though, just assuming that.
I'm not assuming.
So you believe that there's nothing else that caused that. You're just claiming racism because of them existing, correct?
Do you think that I'm the one who conducted these studies, or do you think that there's people that conduct these studies and have been conducting these studies for eons?
Yeah, and there's some that are right, some are wrong.
Okay. What studies have you read?
I have not read any.
What's your degree in, if you don't mind me asking? What's your degree in, if you don't mind me asking?
I just have a high school degree because I actually believe that college is don't teach as much as I wish. they
Okay, great. So the person with
I
the
don't know, I learned
master's
a lot
degree in
in college.
So the person with the master's degree in sociology should be taking direction on how race relations work within a nation from somebody who went to high school and doesn't believe in college. Yeah, check.
No, I'm saying I actually am going to college because I know what I'm going to do. Why did you assume that?
Wait,
Is
you
it-
said that you don't think you can learn enough from college that you would want to. Like, what?
Yes, and
That was
let
fair to
me-
assume given what you just said.
He literally
Yeah,
jumped. He literally went back on his own argument within seconds.
No, I'm saying this next fall I actually am because of my tax dollars already going to go to free college for Minnesota. If you did not know that, which you may have,
Cool.
for 2 years.
Good.
Instead
Good.
of me
Yo,
just
W Minnesota for that.
yeah, they only did it for 2 years though, and it's you have to
It
make
should be 4.
your-
Should be 4.
So do you know for
Do you
that?
agree
I
with free
actually
public
read-
universities?
What?
Do you agree with free public universities? They would cost 1/10 of our military budget, 1/4 of our interest payment on our debt,
No,
and it would
I-
allow for us to have everyone in the U.S., no matter how old they are, to have access to getting a 4-year diploma, bachelor's.
No, I agree. I actually think it should be cheaper. I don't
Yes.
think that-
Did you know that? Do you know that all public institutions were free prior to desegregation?
do.
Prior to desegregation.
Yes, I do, and I think.
Oh,
it's
but
a-
you told me racism ended before desegregation. So why did they start charging tuition at state-funded schools after schools were desegregated? Why did they start charging tuition?
Because they're greedy.
KB, thank you
my
for the
God.
$50 on Cash App. Yo, WKB in the comment section. Yo, KB, thank you so much.
Thank you,
That's so
KB, for the
crazy.
$50 Cash App. I appreciate you.
WKB, everyone. Spam WKB. I want to see that for the next minute, everyone. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so why did they start charging tuition right after desegregation?
Because they're greedy. That's my best guess.
Because they're what?
Because they're greedy. That's why it costs so much.
I don't know what it is that you're saying. I'm not trying to be
Okay,
funny.
sorry. I was saying because they're greedy.
Okay. I
See,
don't.
Do you know the origin of the public school system?
Okay, you're not. I really don't know.
No, I
because they're
said
because they're greedy. Because they're greedy. No, it was to create a barrier of entry because they didn't want black students going to the white colleges. That's why they started charging tuition.
Okay, so what was the purpose of the public school system existing? Do you know that? Yes or no?
I mean, so that all children had access to education. I mean,
What was
else?
happening before that?
They were working on farms.
And why?
Why do you keep? Why won't you address any of my points?
am
But you want to
addressing-
keep? No, you're not. This is so
apologize.
weird.
I'm trying to make it weird.
Okay, I'm done. I'm not. I'm legitimately not going to entertain this anymore. I'm not.
I mean,
Should love you. Thank you.
you are.
So yeah.
Proceed.
So I mean, I think we could move to another point here.
Sure.
How do you feel about the fact that Trump has been held liable for sexual abuse and for defamation?
So he's been charged and convicted
He's
completely?
been held liable for sexual abuse
I didn't
and
ask you that.
defamation by a jury.
I asked you specifically, was he charged and convicted of assault? Yes or no?
It was not in a criminal court; it was in a civil court.
Yeah, I just put it on the. I'll put it on the screen.
Do you want me to answer that one?
You can answer it, either one of you.
Yeah, I mean, with that whole story, right? This is not the most believable sexual
Oh
assault
my fucking god!
story we've ever heard. Okay.
Why didn't he?
Let's be
Why didn't he
realistic.
give his DNA? Why didn't he give his DNA when he was asked
offered
for it?
to give his DNA. He offered to
yeah,
give his
he
DNA.
after 2 years of them asking for it, he finally offered
After
it.
he was
when
president and
the
decided
judge said that too much had already taken place in the trial at this point that they weren't going to accept it. That now was too late.
Why didn't,
So
okay,
why
but
for the
so
first 2
then
years,
cut it off.
if somebody
Then cut it
accused
off.
you of doing something, wouldn't you be at the, you know what I'm saying, the clinic the very next day to give them a DNA sample to make sure that you didn't?
I'll explain it to you. As a president, right? This is New York City, okay? You're giving your DNA over to New York City as the sitting president of the United States, okay? You're telling me there's not going to be Russian operatives, Chinese operatives trying to get access to that DNA of the president? There was a lot of risk, and when he left the White House, he decided he would offer his DNA up. The judge denied it.
Wait.
This
They
woman-
can't just give up his DNA like that. So for you to say like, oh,
You're
like,
telling me there wouldn't
he's
be
worried about the
operatives that try to
Chinese
get-
government getting access to this DNA. You know
Well,
how
I think the Secret
unlikely that would
Service might
be?
have been. There's operatives that would try to, but let's go back to the case. She doesn't know the year.
Wait, couldn't Wait, you said Secret Service would get it through the Secret Service?
Secret Service was probably against him doing it. That's my best assessment. But this whole story, for 20 years, she doesn't go public with it. Reid Hoffman, the billionaire for LinkedIn, decides to fund her legal expenses, and then she comes forward with it.
No, come on. Just because she didn't come out with something doesn't mean it didn't happen. I know plenty of people in my life that have not come out.
Of course it can. I'm not saying it's impossible. These things happen. People are. I mean, it's a traumatic experience. That
Yeah. So, like, what are you saying that it's less likely than not? Than so. I appreciate the 2 subscriptions.
Years,
Thank you so much, Ashes. Thank you so much, HC. I
20
appreciate
years,
it.
nothing is said about this. Then Reid Hoffman, the billionaire, funds her lawyers to push this.
Wait, that's
case
actually not true. It's not that nothing was said because she actually told people she knew at the time. Those were people that testified.
And they ended up testifying. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't nothing was said. It was said to people that was closest to her, which is exactly what you would expect given, right, sexual abuse.
They said
Just
that.
because someone doesn't come out doesn't mean it didn't occur. Karina, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. And it also doesn't reduce the probability in my eyes.
But it just looks off that when a very wealthy person decides to fund the legal expenses for this case, and it's tried in an area where 21 of the 24 jurors hate Trump, and it looks off.
Are you insinuating that Trump's attorneys did not have the ability to go through the panel of juries the same way as the
from an 85% Democrat jury?
Okay. Did you answer my question? Are you insinuating that Trump's attorneys didn't have the ability to go through the panel of juries like every other attorney would?
Of course they did. Of course they did. But it's an uphill battle.
So they did take part in the jury selection. Then,
absolutely.
Yes? Okay.
But let me ask you something. If you're tried in an area where let's say you get tried of something, right?
Maybe don't do a whole bunch of bad shit where people hate you.
Well, let's say you get tried by the radical right who's in this chat who thinks you're really smart and you roast all the Republicans and they're like, we don't like this guy. And you get tried in an area where 90% of the jury is those people. I would question your ability to get a fair trial. Okay? All I'm saying with Trump,
I don't think you can indicate that 90% are anti-Trump.
Yeah, we already played the video. The reason that he was found liable, is because during his deposition, he said because he is a star, he can grab women by the vagina and kiss them in the mouth without their consent. Would you like me to play the video?
Okay.
No.
Put the exact video, yeah, because I highly doubt that that's the specific word he said. I think it's similar to the bleach comments.
No, it's specific.
Thank you so much.
Hey, listen. How many times we gotta play this? How many times we gotta play this same?
If you give me an exact quote, not like the bleach thing, you said that Trump told people to inject bleach in their arm, and then you.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Let's hear the exact quote.
No problem. But I didn't say that though. Just to be clear.
Oh, maybe you didn't, but it seemed like.
We said he talked about injecting bleach, which is true.
He didn't tell people to inject bleach.
Hey, do you want to give me one of the
bleach? Did he not?
You want to give me one of the big boxes?
Thank you so much.
He was talking with a doctor about the possibility of working something like that.
Hey, Jennifer, Jennifer in the chat. Thank you for the $15 Venmo. Karina, thank you for the $2 Venmo. I appreciate you guys. Sorry, I'm gonna play the video right now. I just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, yeah, sure. This is the deposition.
I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the... You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by...
Well, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
Yoda, thank you for the subscription.
I think you can say that, yeah.
This was brought to you.
Yes,
Okay.
he did not say that he was okay with that.
He absolutely did. What are you talking about?
Out what the tradition of that was, which
Do
was
you
not
see
to
the
have-
pretzels, bro?
If we listen to the thing,
This is crazy.
we listen to it.
Listen
So
to
hold
it.
on. So on the bus prior to that, he said, I can grab women by the vagina,
He
kiss them in the
said
mouth without
that-
their consent. He said,
He
I
didn't say
don't
without their
even
consent.
wait.
He did not say
I
that.
don't even wait. That means without consent. I don't even wait. I just
That's what
kiss
I-
them.
That's what actors do sometimes.
And if
Is
they
it
pull
okay for them?
away, you don't do it. Okay?
Wow!
You make a move.
Choose the bear.
Wins, thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much.
This is
So you don't
crazy,
think
man.
that
Grape apology
you
is
don't
nuts.
think that saying grab them by the
Oh.
pussy, right, and then respond to like what they do after isn't like predisposing people towards assault?
I'm sorry. One more time. This is the last time. I promise. I just wanted people to read this for themselves.
So
Big box me one more time, Parker. Sorry.
Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much.
Judge clarifies. Yes, Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll.
Really?
Yes,
Because
thank you for the
last I
subscription. Thank you.
checked, the judge specifically.
What does this say? What does this say from the Washington Post? What does this
He was
say?
found liable.
No. What does this
Everyone's
say?
agreeing with that.
Okay. So so Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll. 100%. This is what the judge
by,
said.
by the judge.
That's
Yeah,
what
in
the
a
judge
colloquial
said.
sense,
Thank
in a
you.
colloquial sense, the way we
All right,
use the
cool,
term
I'm good.
grape,
You can take me off.
that would be indicating that he did grape her. But like in a legalistic sense,
Thank you for
right,
the gifts, guys.
It's not considered that way. So again, when they say that, like, if you're saying it's politically biased, why didn't they say he was held liable for grape rather than sexual abuse, like the jury?
Because that's what they found him. It was
So that's what there was evidence to indicate.
in
So it
their
sounds like
minds. They did. And let me
Okay.
explain that video. Let me explain that.
So they were trying not to be biased, because if they were trying to be biased, well, then it would have been the case that they said he was held liable for grape.
I think it was a tough jury to get with, but let me.
The reason they ultimately said is because they couldn't identify whether he used his
part,
his phallus, or his fingers, and that's the only that was the only determining factor. But he did, in fact, assault her one way or another. He assaulted her. Didn't matter how he did it.
Maddie,
He
the
did it
description.
without her
The jury
consent.
found. That's what
Without
the
her
jury found.
consent.
That's
But
what the
this-
jury found.
But like I said, she had been telling the story to close friends, to her therapist, you know what I'm saying, for years. Kept the dress, the whole nine. Like, this is not
Trump
something.
offered the DNA.
No, he did not. Trump would not give his DNA. For 2 years, they asked for it.
When he
then
was
he tried
president, he didn't.
Then he tried to give it after the jury had already heard all the testimony. The judge could not take new evidence at that point.
Lorian, thank you for the subscription. Thank
Okay,
you.
There's guidelines to this, friend.
Can I explain the video and then I can get on what I think about?
You're
the
about to
whole case?
explain the video. It doesn't
Yes,
need an
let me
explanation.
explain the video. Okay.
Hold on. How can you, this is conjecture, how can you, who does not personally know Donald Trump, explain what Donald Trump was trying to say in the video?
So it's clear.
How do you know I don't know Donald Trump?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, but can I
This is
explain?
so disingenuous. It doesn't even make any sense.
I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to explain what I think about the video, and then I'll explain what I honestly think. Okay. The video, the Access Hollywood tape, that's what the lawyer played the Access Hollywood tape that Trump said back in 2006 when he was talking with another individual about, getting with women. Okay. It was a graphic tape. He said, grab him by the pee. You can do what you want when you're a star. They let you do it. Then when he went on, when the lawyer was talking to him, he said that historically wealthy people who have money and are powerful, they have an easier time getting women, and women are more likely to allow them to.
That's not what he said. None of those words were in that video.
Okay,
None of those
literally what
words
he
were in
said.
those video.
He said historically.
None of those words were in the video. She
I'll tell
said,
you what it was. I'll tell you what it was. Historically, he said historically that has been the case.
for a million years, huh?
When you're a wealthy power, do you think wealthy, powerful guys have an easier time with women or a tougher time?
I don't know.
We don't think it's okay just to grab. We don't think it's okay
women
just to
by
grab them by the
vagina.
pussy without asking, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
But he doesn't agree with that. But Trump
That
doesn't agree with
was-
that.
That was
Trump
locked-
does.
that was what he said. It was on the bus. He was talking with a guy, shooting the shit. And let me tell you, guys, women too. Okay, women too. They speak graphically too.
I
amongst
played college.
themselves.
I played college basketball. Never once in the locker room did any of my friends tell me that they grab women by the vagina and kiss them in the mouth without their consent, because otherwise they'd be missing teeth.
He didn't say without consent.
No, he
did
said,
not.
"I don't even wait." Let's just play.
Yeah,
it again. I'm just gonna
that's
play the
come on,
audio.
that's
No, he
literally.
said he doesn't wait. He said he goes for it.
Yeah,
He said he makes
that's
the move.
come
But
on.
when
Tell
they
me that.
say
Tell me
no-
that doesn't lead to lead to that
When
occurring.
they say no, they stop. I heard the thing.
Oh, can you be quiet for a second? Can y'all mute up? Can y'all mute up? Can y'all mute up? Thank you.
It is what it is.
Yo, he really did just
Yeah,
say
it
that.
happened. I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there, and she was married. Just, I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you this then. Would you assume that all celebrities and stars do that, yes or no? If
No.
yes, okay, then that means he was saying an obvious that society encourages that. It's
No.
sorry
No.
how people get to do that. I
No.
condemn it. It's
Okay,
not
can I
right.
explain?
No, you don't condemn it. No, you don't
Yes,
condemn
I
it.
do.
No, you don't, because you'll put the person who says he does that in office for president. So you don't condemn it. You absolutely do not condemn
I
it.
condemn that
You
culture.
encourage it,
Yes
you
or no?
enable it, and you tell young men across the nation that they can also do this, because if the president can do it, then
That's
I can
not-
certainly
that
do
is
it.
not what he
So-
said.
Is he not seen as a leader? Is he not seen as somebody that children should be looking up to as a president? Yes.
Yeah,
The answer is yes. Exactly. So if he can get away with it and he can do it, then they're going to say, I'm going to do whatever I can to get money so that I can assault women because women are
that's-
less than human.
That is not what
That's not
even
true.
close to being said. Can I explain a story with me about?
Do you think women have rights to bodily autonomy and medical privacy?
Yes, they do.
Ask three
They
different-
But you'll vote for a president that said he will criminalize women having an abortion.
He said that in 2016. He said
No, he said that now. No, he said that now.
No, he changed
No, he
that.
said
He's
that
not gonna
now.
criminalize women for having an abortion.
He absolutely
He
did.
went against a federal
Right.
abortion
He would
ban
need
recently.
60 votes in the Senate to get that through, even if he did.
Wait,
And there's not a
but he
chance
put
in hell
multiple
he would.
Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of them being them overturning Roe versus Wade.
They overturned Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, that led to tens of millions of women having restricted access to abortion in this country, and even 13-year-olds being forced to go through pregnancies. So
And
you
there-
can't
and
you can't
I
say
think
that he
that's
didn't
wrong.
try to
I think that's
restrict
wrong.
people's access to abortion when he put multiple Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of doing that.
Okay, they overturned Roe v. Wade, which honestly was a weak case. It was not a strong case. What
Said that they said that there was already precedent and that it had already been decided, and they lied under oath.
Look,
They
I
lied
think-
under oath, which seems to be the Republican trend.
Really?
They just lie. How many lies did Trump tell?
Okay, the
Third-
Republican Party, the
said like
abortion
30K.
thing's hurting them. Okay.
Okay.
Like,
How many times was he found liable for fraud?
fraud?
Yeah,
You
he
mean
has
with
held-
what? His
Trump
real estate
organization,
property?
Trump organization,
Oh,
the Trump Foundation, Trump
was the victim?
Trump
Look at the
University,
description.
Trump University. I mean, that's three that I can count right off the top of my head that he was found liable for
He
fraud.
had
Who was he liable
Trump
for?
University. Those cases, most of them were settled. Okay, and most of them he won.
He was
by the way.
found liable for fraud.
He was in civil disagreements with individuals who felt
He
like they
still
got
was
ripped
found
off.
liable for fraud.
Most of them he won. The other ones he didn't. He paid off. Trump
He was
University
still found
failed.
liable for fraud.
Liable
Who was
by,
the victim?
by what was it? What was it?
The students were the victim.
So it
and the
wasn't
ones that
bank.
were wrongs got paid off.
Yeah.
Okay, and can I explain the access holiday? I'm going to tell a story about me. Okay.
No, we don't want to hear your, you know what I'm saying, your about your
I'm not-
grapey
that's-
behaviors.
It's not sexual assault. It's not sexual. It's not essay. It's not essay. It's not. It's like okay. Look. When I have been, like, he's not saying just go up to any random woman and start just kissing them, right? He's not saying that. Okay. I can tell you in my life, right? When I'm at school or just wearing normal clothes, women aren't all over me. Okay. One time I went to Rock Bar in Fort Lauderdale, right? I got one of the private areas where there was bottle service and stuff. And you know what? Women came up to me. They touched my leg. And then you move forward from that. Hey, they might be interested in a kiss. If not, you pull back. Okay. But you don't just go up to random people and start kissing them.
But
No
that's
one-
what he said he does. He said, I moved on her like a bitch. I don't
woman
even
who
wait.
Went out with him.
This is
they
crazy.
were feeling the vibe, and he made a move, and it didn't work, and he pulled off.
He never said that. You were adding things to the story that he never said.
That's literally what he said. I remember that.
No, he
story about
didn't.
The woman who was married, he took her out furniture shopping. He made a move on her like a bee, and then she pulled off, and then
What about the other women? He said, I don't even
Here,
wait. He said he does this regularly. He does this
That's
regularly.
what celebrities do sometimes.
Jesus Christ. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Just-
I
y'all
think
are
you think.
disgusting.
Okay, I think we're at the point where we're just disagreeing on what.
Yeah,
is-
y'all are just disgusting.
Okay.
Y'all are just
You're-
bad human beings.
No one is for SA. Okay.
No, you are.
Mary,
you in
thank you
fact
very
are.
much.
I'm
Was he
literally
found?
telling you
Was he
I'm
found
not.
liable for SA? Was he found liable for SA?
He was found liable in New
Are you
York.
still going to vote for him?
I think that case was.
Was he found liable for
there's
SA?
a lot of issues with
It doesn't matter.
MDLA,
Was he found
thank you
liable
for
for
He was
SA?
found liable, and I think.
Was he found liable for
very
SA?
faulty. It was
Was
very.
he found liable for SA? I don't care what you think about how the court process worked. Was he found liable for SA? Yes or no?
Subscription, thank you.
Would you let him babysit your children?
Well, I don't think Trump would babysit my kids.
Stacy, thank you for the subscription, thank you.
Yeah, for me, I would trust him. Better than Biden.
Oh my God. Was Biden found liable for SA? Or was Trump?
Trump was found liable. Okay, I'll be.
Okay, got you. Trump was found liable for SA.
Yes.
Are you still going to vote for him?
He was. If that was the only thing.
Are you
he
still
was
going to
charged
vote for
with,
him?
Yeah, I'm going
Let
to
him
vote for
fall.
Trump because I think that case was.
Maze,
very
thank you.
fraudulent.
I know. I'm gonna look. Oh, hold on. Let's talk about something else he did. Let's talk about something else he did. Howard Stern.
If that was the only case,
No, it's
I'd be
fine.
more
No,
open.
it doesn't even matter. We're gonna play
there's
Howard
50
Stern,
more-
and then I'm gonna leave because y'all are disgusting.
How am I disgusting? I'm literally answering your questions.
I'm about to show you right now.
Maze, thank you for the $5.
I'm sure
Thank you
you're
so
going to
much.
find a way.
Which
I'm sure you're
account,
going to find a
Maze?
way to do this too.
Just play it. If I think it's wrong, I'll think it's wrong.
In the meantime, everyone,
Let me
keep
cue it
tapping
up.
that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes before we do end it. I got about a 40 minutes left on the stream, everyone. If you do want to support me or Jones, Venmo's, Cash App's in the bio, everyone. I do have class at 7 o'clock, everyone, but I'll leave at 6:50.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, I go out with somebody, and she's like 21, and she's talking about, what are you doing? And she's studying algebra. And,
So what?
And it's like, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30 is like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience. She's 35.
Too much life experience. What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over
No,
the
I would
country.
say I'm the all-time judge.
You own this pageant. You go over. You're meeting the girls. It's like one of them comes up to you and says, "Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you." Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No, but I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're,
Well,
you're
well,
a
you
guy who
certainly
likes to
think
have
of it.
everything, right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
Mind you, he's married during all of
I don't
these.
see it as a
It
conflict.
could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
Thank you for the crown. Thank you so
I mean,
much.
some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina. And,
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything
doctor.
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody
They're
okay?
standing
You
there
see
with
these
no clothes on.
incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
So it's okay to go into women's dressing rooms, and some of these women were underage, were 17 and 18 years old, while they were getting dressed, standing there with no clothes on. You think that it's proper because he owns the pageant that he can just walk in there when they don't have clothes on?
Yes, Christina, it is for the rest of the
No.
The last, the last part, he shouldn't have walked in. But, that's the conversation he was having with a guy. and
He's
another
laughing
woman.
about it after.
The woman was laughing about it too there.
No.
the guy was
So?
laughing
No,
about it,
that
too.
that doesn't.
He was telling a story.
Some of them were minors.
Yes, and that's unacceptable. But if we really met that standard, then we would have, if it was a complete
So
stranger
let's
that
just think about
did
this.
that-
He's done that. He goes into places where there were minors that were naked, right? He also
All right, that's a big general.
he also what do you mean? He's literally going into changing rooms. He said they were naked.
Yeah, he said they're
Yeah.
standing there with no clothes on.
And that's one bad thing.
Yeah, and he
out
also
of
said that he'll
100.
date a 10-year-old in 10 years. You guys write it off as a joke.
No,
Right? He's
I
been held
said-
liable for sexual abuse. 26 women have accused him, right? And you're just like, oh, these are all just coincidences. The Democrat elites are going after them.
Yeah, bro. At what point does this not become a
Christina,
trend?
thank you so much.
Well,
Like literally, this is the amygdala response I was telling you guys about. Literally, all the fucking alarms are going off, and you're like, "Do you hear that?" Nah.
Do you think you don't have an amygdala response to your beliefs?
What are my beliefs? Do you know anything about my beliefs?
I assume you're probably left wing,
That's
probably
fair.
dissatisfied with Biden because of his support of Israel.
I am a communist. I don't believe in government at all.
Truth known.
So your beliefs, yeah.
Yeah,
Truth known. Why not just ask him instead of assuming?
yeah. So can you please tell me? Can you please tell me how you justify going into the dressing room with underage women while they don't have clothes on?
Okay, he didn't say he was going into underage women, okay? This is a sideshow about what's going on in our country right now.
Hold on, bro. Why won't you answer the question? There was in fact underage women with no clothes on. Can you please address?
He's not
why?
standing in there scoping them out. Okay?
No, he absolutely did.
Wait, that's what he was.
He said,
literally
"I'm
implying."
inspecting them." He said, "I'm inspecting them."
He said he inspected the area. Okay.
No,
come
he did not
on.
say. Do you see this?
He's literally bringing up as
I'm
like,
done,
oh,
bro.
haha, I get to do this.
This is
right? Come
crazy,
on,
bro.
are you serious?
Why?
This is
Why?
crazy.
Okay, look. This
You're
is the
just
thing.
flat out lying, bro.
How am I flat out lying?
Because
Okay.
he said, "I'm inspecting them."
He's
He
the
would
area.
go, look. Okay, this is the thing. You're going through his whole life, everything he's ever said or done. Okay, Trump is not a Christian, God-fearing man. I think a lot of that's pretty faked. He's probably agnostic, if I'm being honest. Okay, but the thing is,
So you're telling me he's also a liar?
of course he lies.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
So what makes you think he's not lying about messing with, like, doing bad things to these women, bro? Do you hear yourself?
I
We
don't
have
think he
reason to
did
believe
bad
that
things.
Trump is a liar, a pathological liar, right? But we
No,
don't have reason to believe that
pathological.
E. Jean Carroll is a liar, right? Let alone a pathological liar.
Do I think
So
Trump
if anyone
has
is more
lied
likely to
before? Yeah.
lie, listen, if anyone is more likely to lie about the scenario that we can mention as it relates to the sexual abuse, it is Trump. Right? E. Jean Carroll is significantly more likely to be right in this scenario because she's significantly less likely to be a liar.
Then why would there be 20 plus of them then? Let me ask you this specifically. If you were attacking someone like Trump, you're like the head of the government, well, how would you try to silence someone who questions the way you fail to run government?
Then why doesn't this
Attack
happen
their
with-
policies.
Gem Gun, I appreciate the Gem Gun. Don, thank you for the subscription as well. Why doesn't this happen with every other person that disagrees with the establishment, man?
Right.
How
Why
come,
did it
how come
never
these
happen to
charges have
Obama?
happened to Bernie, Obama,
Obama
any
was
of these other people?
pro-establishment. He was pro-China. He
Yeah.
was pro-Russia.
Okay, so
Oh
again,
my
we could
God.
talk about, so particularly Bernie. Bernie, how come he never got charges like this?
Well, he got pushed out of the nomination in 2016 by the establishment.
But did he get
Democrat.
charges like this? No.
No, because he was a Democrat.
No, he
Isaiah, I
wasn't.
appreciate
He
the
was
subscription. Thank you so
independent.
much.
He was in a Democrat state that
Okay, how
votes
come
that-
any other Republican candidate throughout history hasn't gotten the same type of charge?
They have. We've had both Democrat and Republicans. Let's use
In presidency?
No, not presidency.
No, I'm asking you, name one other presidential candidate that has been held liable for sexual abuse.
Would you like?
Chris, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so
I'll
much.
do the most recent one, which was Bill Clinton.
No,
That
never
wasn't
sexual
sexual
abuse. That
abuse.
was consensual.
Yeah.
So if it was consensual with Trump, you would accept that, yes or no? If
I don't-
you
That wouldn't be
Yeah.
sexual abuse then.
That wouldn't be sexual abuse then.
Exactly.
Exactly what?
What is that
Well,
supposed to
I mean-
justify? Like, where are you
Well, I
going
mean,
with that?
if it was okay for Bill Clinton to be so-called claim that he assaulted someone,
No, he
Wait,
no,
wait,
he
he didn't
never
assault.
assaulted
He
anybody.
didn't assault
He did
anyone.
not assault
I said
anybody.
he
Right.
was
What he did
so-called
wrong in that
claim-
scenario is he cheated on his wife. That's
Yeah.
what he did wrong.
And Trump obviously did plenty of that. He cheated on his first wife with his second wife, his second wife with his third wife, and with his third wife, he was sleeping with what's her name, Stormy Daniels.
You
Okay,
do
Trump
see-
isn't a Christian moral guy. Okay, no one's saying that. He's not a choir boy. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a good person.
So atheists are bad people now, correct?
What?
Atheists are terrible people, correct?
Well, I didn't say that.
No,
I
we
said
are
I'm talking
both
about his
atheists.
actions. We're both atheists. I'm talking about his actions.
It's actions. So if I'm gonna keep doing the Bill Clinton one.
But Bill Clinton didn't assault anybody.
If Trump didn't assault anyone, it was all consent.
But he did assault
Would
somebody.
you accept Trump as being?
No, because he walked into a young girl's dressing room. He said that if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Like, this is lewd and lascivious behavior, and it's a pattern of it. He is literally a narcissist. He is a fascistic narcissist.
Okay, look, there's things he says that are wrong, and he probably gets carried away in a conversation trying to impress the guys or whatever.
This is crazy town, man.
Look, I just think realistically, I'll be honest, okay? If I like someone, I'm going to defend them, okay?
Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much.
I'm going to defend them, okay? That's just the truth. Could I possibly ignore things that are...
This is exactly how Hitler got into office. This is how I wrote my thesis on this.
You really
this is exactly how Hitler got into office. Absolutely.
Really
his first wife literally said that he kept a copy of Mein Kampf next to his bed. This was part of the divorce proceedings, part of the deposition in the divorce proceedings.
Trump, if he wins, is gonna unalive millions upon millions of people?
I think that he is going to do whatever he can to remain in power or establish his children into a position where they can remain in power. Because remember when he was in office the first time, he said, "I'd like to be president." You know what I'm saying? For maybe president for life.
Yeah, and do you remember let's consider.
Oh my God! What about this person? What about that person?
Truth, is this you?
Crazy, bro.
You're a hypocrite. That's why.
Truth, is this you?
Yeah, that's me.
Do you want to justify this?
No, I think it's a funny meme.
How is this a funny meme?
I said, why chicks be getting mad when I shoot my shot with their best friend after they ain't respond to me? Like, WTF, bitch.
Yeah, you not only are referring to women that way, but you're also...
You know I'm joking, okay?
I think it's just similar behavior to Trump, right?
It is not.
If you want to say that I'm a bad, immoral person, that's fine. If you want to say Trump's a bad, immoral person, that's fine. But
we shouldn't have bad, immoral people being in charge of the country.
What I'm saying is also that you're adopting similar characteristics as to the cult leader. Okay, this is why I refer to this as a cult, because literally people who have these different types of ideologies and there are likely affinities towards Trump's character and persona, right, are more likely to adopt these particular types of characteristics. And this is exactly why people like Andrew Tate and Donald Trump are extremely harmful people, is because they create this cult of personality around them, right, that gets people who follow them to start adopting these particular bad aspects of their characters. Right? That's why we think it's so bad, right? That's why when he's president of the United States and he's expressing all of these behaviors, it can impact the American youth in a negative way. I mean, this could be an explanation. I don't know if this is true, but this could be an explanation for as to why we've seen such a rise in alt-right domestic terrorism.
Really, more than domestic.
Well, can you name some alt-right domestic terrorism?
No. Like I can show you there have been graphs on this that show that
Because
they
it was
increased
interesting
since
how
since
Biden.
2015.
I mean, this is the thing. He said white supremacy was the greatest threat to the country. Like he said
That's
first
true.
time.
It
is. You think it is?
Yeah.
When's the last white nationalist attack that you can remember?
Here, I'm pulling it
The
up right
literal
now.
Yahtzees protest
This
in
is from
front of
CSIS. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. They indicate that right-wing terrorism is most of the terrorism in the United States.
That's surprising to me.
Look,
because I haven't
You
seen.
see this? You see this? You see the light blue one?
Well, can they name some white terrorist attacks? I mean, I haven't seen any.
This is from the CSIS. I can bring some up,
what
but
are the
like,
attacks?
yeah, I'll bring them up for you.
I'd love, honestly, I'd love to hear if it's true. It's bad, but I have not seen a white.
April 13th, 2014, a mass shooting in a Jewish community, neo-Nazis. 2014, far-right patriot movement killed 2 officers and a civilian. 2015, in Charleston, South Carolina, white supremacists shot and killed 9 members of a church. 2015, November 27th, there was a Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado Springs, Colorado, in which anti-abortion extremists shot and killed a police officer and 2 civilians.
Buffalo,
in 2017, in March 20, right, there was a murder of an African-American man in New York who which was allegedly committed by a white supremacist who traveled to New York with the purpose of killing black men. In 2017, May 26th, 26th in Portland, Oregon, there was a white supremacist that allegedly murdered 2 men, right, and injured a third after the men defended 2 young women whom the individual had targeted with anti-Muslim hate speech. Ginger, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. In 2018, in October 27th, because I'm just skipping to a different one, right, there was a mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh,
I remember,
Pennsylvania, in which white nationalists allegedly shot and killed 11 members of the congregation. In 2019, a white nationalist was arrested and charged with murder after allegedly killing 50 Muslim worshippers and injuring more than 40 in a massacre at a mosque in Linwood Mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand.
Yeah, no, there's okay, yeah.
The
Now you've
alleged
explained,
shooter posted a hate-filled xenophobic manifesto that derailed white nationalist ideology before the massacre. Right.
And every single one of those I condemn, and those people should be put to death who did it. Every single one of them. They should all get put to death. The people
But
who
all of
carried it
these
out,
people
put
are
them
Trump
down like
supporters.
dogs.
All of these
Put them
people
down
are
like
Trump
dogs.
No, but like the point I'm making, and I think this is a legitimate point, is that alt-right domestic terrorism has significantly increased in this country. And like Republicans try to make it seem like the problem is like people immigrating to the country, but really it's with alt-right domestic terrorism. Right. So like the idea is that if this is increasing at a significantly higher degree than we see other types of things, well, then why are Republicans so worried about immigration rather than people in their own parties?
I'm saying the people that do that, people do those attacks, put them down like dogs. Okay, kill them.
I
Don't give them
would
anything.
lock them up for
Okay.
life. That's what I would do. But that's
This is
my
great. Hey, Parker, I'm gonna go, buddy.
Yeah, I
I'm
get
gonna
you.
I'm gonna go.
For sure.
All right, have a good
It was
one.
good
I
talking to you.
appreciate you letting me up. Thank you everybody for all the gifts and the Cash Apps and the Venmos. I love you guys. I'll be on at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for Dangerously Early. Love y'all. Stay dangerous.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
I wasn't talking to y'all.
I just said have a good day. I mean, you're a human being. I can wish you the best, right? I mean, just because we disagree on something doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think, fundamentally there's very strong, and honestly, if I'm being real, the sad part with the country is I feel like whoever wins, there's going to be like mass riots on the other side, if I'm being real. Like if Biden wins again, the far right, they probably are going to start actually doing some shit. And then
But
if Trump wins, those cities are probably going to
They
get...
did it even with Trump
burned.
winning. We saw it significantly increase, right, when Trump was when Trump was running in 2015. That's
Yeah.
when we saw the beginning of the significant increase.
I mean, I think the sad part is it's like it's the extremist on both of the sides that are running these agendas. It's like the real issue is right and left wing extremism, right? And we can go back and forth on who's more, who's less, but the fact is it's happening. Like it's real. These things are real.
It's significantly more prevalent amongst the right wing for it to lead to domestic terrorism. Okay.
I mean, look, you could say it could be true. I mean, it could be true.
It's just a fact, right? That's from the CSIS. Okay.
Okay, but I
I'm
could
not
also
just-
state a fact about in St. Louis in 2020 in the BLM riots, there was a man who shot 4 police officers. Right?
Yeah,
I could say
but
there
I'm
was
looking
a-
at the overall statistics. I'm not just looking
I
at
know,
one
but I'm
event.
saying-
You asked me specifically for like events, so
Well, I could name
went and
you- I
described
could name
them.
you-
You could name me hundreds from the far left. I could.
Yeah, I can. No,
Different
I can
roles.
name you more from the far right because again, I just showed you the statistics that indicate the overwhelming majority of crime, right, as it relates to domestic terrorism, is
Okay.
related to alt-right extremism, right?
Okay, if that's true,
Not
then I
left wing.
challenge that. The Roe v. Wade, overturning Roe v. Wade, was there more far left extremism to vandalize churches, pro-life clinics, or was there more
It happened less
far
likely.
right, or was there more far right, which was destroying pro-abortion clinics and hospitals that were pro-Planned Parenthood, or are? Which
Look,
one?
you see that blue line?
I asked you a question in 2022. Which
Yeah, in
is it?
2022 is most likely far-right extremists.
It was not.
Marty, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Look,
I am looking. I've looked at how many times.
yeah,
did
that
it
blue
happen?
line is specifically alt-right
Does it say
extremists.
150
You want to know what
times?
left wing is? Left wing is the green line. You see the green line? All the way down here, this green line, that's left wing.
And does that count Antifa and the BLM rights? Yes or no?
That counts everything, yes.
So Antifa is the left wing, correct?
I mean, if you want to consider it left wing,
Well, I
Antifa
mean,
would be everyone. Like everyone's
yeah,
technically a left
yes,
wing.
but the thing is,
Then
if,
I mean not left wing. Everyone's Antifa except
okay,
for some of the MAGA supporters.
but why did Joe Biden, when he declared MAGA as a hate group, the peacekeepers and all of that, when he became president, why did, if Antifa is also right wing, wouldn't he want to clarify that as well as a hate group for the right? If it
Okay,
was,
Antifa doesn't have a particular right or left wing. I want to clarify that. Like
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
that's not what I was.
I'm
what I would
no,
want to
I'm
say.
saying when he called Antifa an extremist, he also did the BLM movement. Why did he name both of those?
Wait,
at
he
the same
he
time?
condemned.
No,
riots.
he called them an extremist group. That's not right. That's what he said.
He
said
called
at
who
the
an
same-
extremist group?
He called it Antifa.
Oh, that's wrong. They're not a group.
I mean, here's what I'll say. I condemn all political violence of any kind, right or left wing, in this country, and whoever.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with saying that either.
Extent of the law. Every
Yeah,
single
like every single one of us should be able to say that.
No,
if you're gonna beat people up, if you're gonna shoot people, if you're gonna destroy people's businesses or destroy the Capitol, you should be thrown in prison.
Yeah,
Or
I
if it's
agree with
serious
that.
enough, if you did a mass shooting, you should get put to death quick.
I mean, I don't believe in the death penalty, but I do believe
Same.
that these people should have I mean, if we literally saw them do it, I don't really have an issue
blatantly
against it.
obvious. I get it when it's it's not 100%.
Well, yeah, we don't know, and it could possibly be someone who
When
didn't
it's
do it.
obvious,
But I mean, if it's obvious, I actually, I don't see an issue against it in that scenario.
Yeah.
So it's
it
like,
provides closure. I mean, it helps. I mean, it doesn't bring the people back, but at
yeah,
least
if it's like blatant and we literally obviously know,
it's literally on video and there's hundreds of witnesses. Yeah,
yeah,
it's quite obvious.
Yeah, in that scenario, it's like.
But yeah, I get what you
care.
mean. I think a lot of cases where it's not so cut and dry and there's not all this evidence. I think it should be used in extreme cases of mass murder or genocide. I don't think it should be used in just kind of a bar fight or something. You know what I mean, like that. But
Yeah, obviously.
No,
or,
that's extreme.
I mean, but only if we have 100% certainty. If they
Yeah.
literally detained them while still shooting people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's on
you know
camera,
it's
there's-
them.
yeah.
You know it's them in that scenario.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, that one. You can put him down. You can put the New Zealand shooter down. You can put. That's in Norway. The guy Anders Breivik. I mean, he's getting up for parole in 2028, and he murdered 74 people. I mean, it's that's crazy. He should have been put down. I mean,
I think it's more about we just need to prevent these types of things from occurring.
no, I mean for sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's what needs to be centered by. So we need to identify what's the reason why these things are more prevalent to occur in the United States. That is a really big issue we have to identify.
Yeah, we have to admit the issue. I agree. But to tell you something, since I do live in Minnesota, I live really close to Minneapolis, they actually gave up on the statistics of the crime rate. They've decreased it because they actually don't want to get hurt or harmed or even reported now. They've given up. It's a shame. And that's a blue district. It's I
don't know what specifically you're referencing. That's not related to the presidency, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's a blue specific.
I don't know what particular thing you're referencing. I'd have to look more into
Okay, I'm
it.
talking about Minneapolis, which has a serious crime violence. It does. And the thing is, the people who actually report the statistics in the news have given up on reporting most of it. It's a shame. It's a sad thing. I condemn that as well.
I think the answer is it's violent criminals that have to be locked up for life, right? I think honestly with prison we have to decide whether this person's a threat to society and they really keep us at risk, and those people should be the ones in prison, because right now prisons, they're overwhelmed with nonviolent drug offenders.
That shouldn't be the case, right?
You know what I mean? It's people should be in prison that you're scared to be around, that this person's going to try to kill you or beat the hell out of you. That's who should be in prison.
Yeah, if they actually pose a threat to your safety,
yeah, not
the fact that
No,
the fact that people are in prison for possession is insane to me.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, 100%.
Or addiction, that's ridiculous.
So do both of you... Okay, sorry, I was just going to say, do both of you agree that really thinking about it, the prison system is really way too light, in my opinion? I actually think that
You think it's too light?
Yes, I actually think that we could use prisoners in a productive way, like
You mean
to,
enslaving them?
no, not enslaving them. They're already having their sentence. Why can't we have them do something for the community more
Slavery.
than that they do? No, it's not slavery. Well, I mean, if you want to call it that, you can, but I would call it.
He's like, yeah, so should we just enslave people in
No, I
prison?
call it that
Truth,
they
what do you
work
think
for
about this one?
Volunteer.
I mean, I think for prison, I think it's too soft on violent crime, but I think on non-violent crime, it's way too hard, right? Like, I mean, we put people in prison for.
No, I mean, like, how do you feel about his slavery comments?
What do you, I mean, well, technically, I mean, you work for the state, you know, I mean, it's in the third, that's the loophole in the 13th Amendment. I mean, technically, you can't leave because you committed a crime and you do what they tell you to do. So it is, in a sense, you know, slavery, you know.
No, we're
I
talking
mean-
forced labor, right? Which is slavery, right? What do you mean by it's not slavery if you're not forcing labor?
Okay, so what I'm saying for it would be, would you call volunteer work, like for example, if you work for election, would you call that slavery? If you freely give up your time to volunteer, to do something productive for your community?
No, you were talking about we use more people, right?
No,
you
I'm
weren't
saying
talking
that we
about
should
like, oh,
use
we
them
asked them
for-
if they want to work.
No, I'm saying we should use them for hard labor, make them actually
Use
scared
them
to
for
go
hard
to
labor.
prison.
That's literally slavery.
Well, I mean, how else?
He's like literally advocating for
No,
slavery.
no, I'm asking, how would you change the prison system so people...
I'd focus it more towards like rehabilitation, right? In a typical
Okay.
sense.
And if that doesn't work, some people are...
Rehabilitation is more likely to work. If
Yeah,
not, you just
and-
keep that person away from society forever.
Okay.
That's
But
the only
would
way
you-
to deter the crime in that scenario.
But why have you considered, since I've looked into a couple of countries a couple years ago, and I thought it was interesting how they
David,
have
thank you for the
less
subscription. Thank you.
prisoners. Now, there are some inhumane methods, I agree. But...
Yeah, you
that-
enslaving people is inhumane. Yeah, so you arguing to literally enslave people, I think, is a bit ridiculous.
That's... We can make the same...
Make them do hard labor because they are in prison.
Make them be productive to the economy. Do you actually like how the economy is, or do you want it to be better? Let's find a method
Yeah,
that
so
works.
do I condone slavery? No. Do you condone slavery? Yes.
I condemn slavery because
No,
I
you condone
hate
slavery in this context.
in that context.
You're literally advocating
Sure.
for slavery. Like, I don't think you understand that.
If they were free and not having a sentence, then yes, that would be slavery. If they were free and became enslaved, they are not. They have a sentence. And now, if they have the life sentence, I agree. That's slavery.
No, you forcing them to engage in hard labor is slavery.
You force them to do many jobs already. That's already slavery. Don't you
I'm
agree?
not advocating to argue. I'm not arguing for people to be forced to do jobs in prison.
So they should just sit down and do nothing.
Yeah,
So
unless
What
they
about-
want to do something in which we would say wouldn't hurt anyone.
I mean, I think with like prison, like a lot of the I mean, look, I think that's a good thing. A lot of us could probably agree on. So there's like too many people in prison for nonviolent crimes, and I think community service would be a much better alternative instead of having them just sit in a jail cell for like 5 years. You know what I mean? But I think people that commit very violent crimes, that's who prison should be for. And if they want to work and do something, that's fine. If not, they basically will just stay in their cell block and just rot away, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that's fair. That's inhumane as well.
Okay, but I'm not going to justify slavery.
So you
I would rather put people right in prison than enslave them. Yeah.
okay, so what method would you use for prisoners to be productive to solving some of our government issues we have? I said the economy.
I don't think
Is that about-
prisoners are a part of that. I think that the point of prisons, or in my case, rehabilitation and whatnot, is to protect society, keep us safe, right, and make sure that we can bring people back into society if they are nonviolent offenders.
Yeah, they could do like a deal with that. Would that be considered slavery? Like if they could get free 3 years earlier for a non-violent crime, would you agree with that? Non-violent, no
Get
assault?
out 3 years earlier? What do you mean?
Yeah, like make like a deal thing. Would that still be slavery? So let's say, like, for example, someone's in prison for 5 years. They're on like their fourth offense. Let's say they did like an illegal substance.
I don't think they should be in prison for a substance.
No, I'm saying to make a deal, because we do have unjust laws. We do say making deals to get people out sooner and be productive to their community.
No, I would just say that they should just be sent like home. Like they don't need to be in prisons anymore. They didn't do anything wrong. They're literally just had possession.
Okay, so then you were pro the First Step Act, correct?
If again it's only meant to particularly get people out of these conditions, then yeah, I'm okay with those particular aspects.
Okay, so if that affected mostly black people, would you say that's a good thing or a bad thing for just instead of lengthening people's sentences just because you can, because some sadly prisons do that, would you instead be down decreasing that and making it minor if they did not attack anyone?
I would argue if it's a non-violent drug offense, they shouldn't be in prison at all.
Well, I mean, non-violent.
There shouldn't even be community service.
Yeah, they shouldn't be in.
Yeah, that's what Donald
So
Trump.
I don't know what you're advocating for here.
No, I'm no.
Yeah, they got to dip out. But hey, Parker, I appreciate you for having me on, and everyone in the chat. Even though we may disagree, I don't hate any of you. I truly wish you all the best. And yeah, well, I appreciate it, Parker. You say, I hope you have a good night, man. Everyone, have a good night.
Hope you have a good night, Noam.
All right, y'all have a good one. Bye bye.
All right. Well, I am gonna get off too as well. I have class here in 20 minutes. So
Okay, cool. Have a good week or day at school if I don't see you.
for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Just look that up, I recommend, when you have free time. First Step Back. That was
Yeah.
really good. I was pro because I actually hate our prison system.
For sure. All right. All right, everyone. I'm gonna get off for tonight. I do appreciate everyone. If you always want to support me, Venmo and Cash App in the bio, like always. We're gonna go raid someone and whatnot for tonight. I have class, so I do have to get off for tonight. Sadly, I wish I could stay on. I have one more week left of class, everyone, and I'm fucking done. And it's just these. You know, me going on live, fucking debating people. That's it, everyone. I can't fucking wait, chat. I can't wait. It's gonna be so nice. Just skip it. I can't. It's a group presentation. We have to set up the slides and stuff, so I gotta be there for my team. But yeah, I appreciate it, everyone. I appreciate y'all. I should be back tomorrow. What time? Whenever. Just look in the Discord. Join the Discord if you want to know. You have to copy and paste it into your browser. But we're gonna send everyone over to Tommy real quick. Everyone look up my_DOODE. Spam Parker Raid. Spam love from Parker. MY_DOODE. Spam Parker Raid. Spam love from Parker, everyone. Let's blow up his live right now, everyone. MY_DOODE, everyone. Love y'all so much. Peace out, everyone.